Yo, what is going on, everybody? My name is King Mexico, also known now as Captain Mexico. That's right, I've upgraded from running Mexico to saving it.
King Captain Mexico.
King Captain Mexico. Sounds like a beer.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds like a beer. Drink King Captain Mexico. It'll get you drunk. All right, joining me always is the man with the plan, the Ayatollah rock and roller. The next big thing, he is the Texas Gaming Hedgehog himself, the man that runs the skinny. He played Sonic.
Hello, everybody.
All right, and also we got a very special guest today, the one, the only. He's not a hedgehog, but he knows Taekwondo. He might know some Kung Fu, and he's always on the express, Mr. Panda from Manly Battleships.
I forgot to unmute myself.
It happens to the best of us, trust me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for
problem.
agreeing to come to our dumpster fire of a show.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, we do dumpster diving.
Yeah, that's right. We do all the dumpster diving. We throw, instead of like putting out the fire, we add fuel. We're like Vince McMahon. We add that fuel.
The rocket fuel.
All right, so let's get the early shit out of the way. Sonic, what's with the skinny?
Okay, so in case you don't know, today is actually National Video Games Day, which is kind of a pretty cool holiday, I guess. But which is quite fitting because we actually have two big announcements today. So Nintendo is going to host a Nintendo Direct tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. And we're not only getting that, Sony is going to do their State of Play presentation later on that day, later on tomorrow. So it's going to be pretty cool just to know that. And speaking of, let's see we got someone else here. Should we introduce him, Goku?
Let's take care of the skinny and I'll introduce him.
All right, well, just another the skinny's long, so I'm just going to let you know.
It's called the skinny for a reason, skinny. We
All
call
right.
it, if we had a ton of news, we call it the fatty.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should call it the fatty considering D23 just happened this past weekend and all the news that Disney dropped.
Let's summarize Disney. Okay, Marvel. All right, everybody, we're all caught up to speed.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, just insult Marvel, don't you?
Yes, because I've never really liked the comics, even though I've read a lot of them. I didn't read all of them, but I did read a lot. Plus, at this fucking point, dude, I'm kind of... My wallet's like, hey man, can we stop? Can we skip a couple Marvel movies? Not all of them weren't good. Did they fucking forget that there are giant hands sticking off the fucking planet in Doctor Strange? This motherfucker came on my show with pizza.
Yeah, because you called me.
All right, yeah. So joining us is actually the man that runs Zeros to Heroes. He is the main host of Absolute Zeros, the show that I'm occasionally on Sundays because they talk about Marvel and Disney shit, which I don't have Disney Plus because I'm poor and brown. They don't.
Oh.
Anyways, all right. So I'm gonna take a guess at going back to your skinny. I'm gonna take a guess that
Yeah.
I heard rumors that The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess is one of the games going to be announced tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard that too. It was supposed to be an HD port of both Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. That's what I'm hearing too about that. And then there's like these rumors about like a new 2D Mario and then like a bunch of other DLC and new content and something. Apparently they're gonna I heard a slight chance that they may show footage of the Mario movie that's coming out next year. So, yeah, I'm actually kind of scared. I'm kind of nervous seeing it. I'm like, all right,
that was perfect.
That was just perfect timing.
Yeah. We also got some live action Little Mermaid, which I'm actually not against. I'm kind of
I had no issues. A lot of people were crapping on it and all that stuff. Apparently, it got like 1 million dislikes on YouTube. I'm like, really? Jesus. I know you're probably thinking, hey, how can you see dislikes even though there's a thing it's called extensions?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what else we got on the skinny? Nintendo, Disney.
Sony, like I mentioned, they're doing their State of Play later tomorrow after the Nintendo Direct. So we're getting 2 in 1 tomorrow. So
nice.
Gamers, we're eating good.
We will see if we can do another. I'll see if I can do something about it. Covering it tomorrow. What else we got?
That was pretty much
it. We condensed it.
Yeah, basically shortened it. And also for you people out there, it is Morbid time on Netflix. You can watch Morbius on Netflix. That is if you want to.
Please
Also-
please dislike the movie hard.
Also, it's that time of the year again. Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, Cobra Kai season 5 dropped.
That's right. If you haven't seen Cobra fucking Kai, fuck you.
We just lost like 5 likes for that.
I already lost 5. Remember how last week I was like, thank you, we're 5 subscribers away from 500 followers on Instagram?
And then you lost 5.
I lost 5 because of the bullshit that I posted after the Queen had died.
Oh no, that also because like sometimes when you get users on Instagram, sometimes they'll be just bots and they would follow you for a few days and then just like
I thought that too until I got messages.
Oh, oof.
Telling me I should
Promote.
call INS. I should call ICE. You promised me tamales and other things. Anyways, all right. So joining us is our guest, Panda. We need to get our skinny out of the way. We also have a very special guest host. Host.
Sure, let's say that.
Sure, why not? Yeah. Okay. Josh is going to be replacing Jace for today because Jace had bald white guy things to do today. All right, Mr. Panda, thank you for joining us. Thank you for agreeing to come on, man.
Yeah, not a problem.
So, for some content, we're gonna actually play the video that he made that I fucking watched and I fucking saved. So, just a little quick story. The first time I saw this video was years ago, and I stumbled upon it and I laughed so fucking hard. I saved it to my favorites, and then one of my Facebook. It came up on my Facebook memories, and I watched it again. I was like, holy shit! This thing is aged so well because it's so fucking true. It's like dead on, dead ass, like fucking true. Let's just go ahead and show this. This shit's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
It's fucking funny, dude. I laugh every time I watch this shit.
By the way, weeaboo is very offensive.
Hold on. I forgot I got my Bluetooth speakers because I watch.
Well, it's a good thing it was for the podcast and not something else.
Yeah. And it's silent.
That's me.
We can't. I don't think the audience can the audience hear it?
I don't
Nope.
think the audience can hear. I can't hear.
Oh,
Yeah.
y'all can't hear it?
No.
Well, let me try one more time. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you may notice night and day how much a beard can make a difference. How much like a beard on a person would be like, whoa.
It's like a push-up. It's like a push-up bra for men.
I was fatter then too, I think.
You weren't fat. That's fat.
Hawaiian
Hawaiian
shirts help.
I mean, no, I've seen guys that don't have necks.
God, let's talk about something that's not my neckline in this video.
All right, let me know if you can hear it this time.
Maybe my poster slip.
Weeaboo is very
Could you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, let me try that one. Okay, so the panelist one is me to a degree.
By the way, weeaboo is very offensive.
All right, we're leaving in exactly 10 minutes. Everyone's got everything packed. Everyone's got their cosplays. Here's the shower schedule. Make sure you follow it.
By the way, otaku is very offensive.
I don't have time for anything.
I just saw a naked elf and I'm very confused. Which Pokemon is that?
I don't have time for anything. I don't have time for anything.
Oh my god, I've got my Thursday afternoon, my Friday morning, my Friday afternoon, my Friday evening, and of course my whole cosplay.
I've been in this room for 12 hours. Oh, these fucking weebs. Oh, these fucking weebs. Oh, these fucking weebs. I've been in this room for 12 hours.
Would you like to read my latest chapter? In this one, Draco gets pregnant.
You guys bought a badge? You nerds bought a badge?
You guys bought a badge? Oh yeah, baby. Look at the camera. Do you want to pose nude later? I'm a professional. Pasta!
Okay, I gotta ask. What the fuck was up with the pasta?
That's Italia for you.
I thought Italia was just a bunch of like countries in the form of like dudes stuck in like some place.
That is.
It is, yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Okay, I guess I'm out of the loop on that one. Ironic, it's kind of funny, but as soon as your video ended, D12 This Is the Name of My Band started playing with Eminem. It's a good song. I laughed my ass off because the room partier, and the panelists are both me. It's like shit, dude. I ain't got time for anything else. I'm asleep, not do shit, and host my panels. And then there I am with the beer. You fucking paid for your badge. And then I know Sonic is maybe not Sonic, but yeah, I got you on the link. I got you. So I just want to bring up that when you do all these fucking weebs, I don't know if you know who Vince McMahon is, but you sound like Vince McMahon.
I know of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, you basically like the tone and the way he like screams. You kind of nailed that vibe.
Yeah, you did. You sounded like
Good to know.
You're fire. That
Yeah.
was literally your voice.
It was me, Austin.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Actually, I wanted to give questions. So, what was the background and inspiration for you to just do that video? Like, how did that came to be?
I had been doing impersonations like that for a long time. Ever since comedian, class clown. So when I started getting into the convention scene, this is just something that kind of developed over time. When we made this video is when I sat down and solidified, all right, well, which are approximately 20 things that I could do that would be the best impressions I've done. Or in the case of one or two of them, for example, like obviously I'm not actually doing an impression per se with the last one there, but it's a good joke. So I like kind of mixing it up like that when we make videos and other types of content.
The weebs.
All these fucking weebs was always kind of just like a little catchphrase that I had. That's probably one of the earliest ones that I did was pretending to be a staffer, pretending to be a hotel person, being like, "Oh God, here they come again."
Yeah, so I love that one because even the fucking weebs are like fucking weebs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of my impersonations, most of my comedy, especially comedy that criticizes in some way, tends to come from a place of affection. I feel that actually puts me in a much better position to put out those criticisms.
Yeah, so like apparently the comment section also agrees with me.
The weeb should have also said these fucking weebs too.
I think it's great because as a panelist, I've gone to cons where I've only had like a panel or two panels, and I've been to cons where I've had 15 panels. It's fucking insane, like the amount of work that goes into these things. I've never been an artist, but I've been a volunteer, and I fucking hated it. They had me stand in this one spot for 4 hours, and I said, "Fuck!" They had me outside in the sun.
Oof.
Because it was that year I volunteered for Anime Matsuri, and they had me out in the sun guarding a door because it was a car show, and I said, "Fuck this!" And they kissed my ass, and I left. It like they didn't bring me water. I was like, I'm not standing here any longer. I've already been out here for 4 hours. But I know people that do volunteer work, and they will be in the same spot for 12 hours straight. And I know I've met people from like sunrise to sunset, like they are in the LARPing room for 12 hours, and you can smell it on them too. Like I've known people that have. I'm not gonna say any names because they're pretty well known in our community, but yeah, the one dude that used to go to the Onicon LARPing thing, yeah, he stunk, and it was worse because he didn't use deodorant. He almost made up some excuse that he was allergic to it, which we all found out wasn't true.
Mm.
The general observation for the LARPer probably comes back from when I was in college. I wasn't even actually in college yet. I started going to the college anime club just before I started doing college stuff because my sister was there, and there were a couple people there. One guy in particular that I remember fondly. There was a lot of overlap back then between the role players and the anime club. And one of the topics that came up through the years as we started going to conventions was, well, You pay for this badge to go to this anime con, but then you spend almost the entire time in the LARPing room. And there's nothing particularly wrong with deciding what activities you want to do. It's just like like I said, it comes from a place of affection. It's just a general observation of mine. It's like, well, you paid to go to the con, but you spent your entire time there in one room.
Right. Yeah. No, I never. That's one of the things that I've always asked people, like, how can you go to a con, you walk around for 4 hours in a glorified overpriced flea market.
Well, it sounds like you're going to the wrong con.
Well, I'm just generalizing. Like, I've been to 300. I've been to like some of the biggest cons in Texas. I've been to the one in Chicago.
It sounds like you go to a lot of comic cons.
I go to both. I also go to some horror cons.
That's when I have
sci-fi conventions.
There we go. That's the idea for the next video.
Yeah, like
10 anime conventions you've attended.
10 anime conventions. I'm gonna make a list of the anime conventions you need to avoid. Matsuri, for one.
Well, no comment on that, but
like, so the reason why, because there's so many anime conventions in Texas. It's like our market right now. We went through in Texas at one point there was a con every 3 weeks, and then we went through like a recession of conventions where we only had like a handful throughout the year. But now we're back at that point where it's like, oh, every 3 weeks, like we might have 5 bookings for the rest of this year. And I am about to tell one of these cons I can't do it.
Well, Texas is kind of the bastion of fandom as we know it. That's where the original anime con came from.
Did you say bastard? Because that sounds about
no,
accurate.
Bastion. Bastard is also a great anime that you should watch.
Pretty much, I got my. If you haven't noticed my background, I don't watch a lot of anime. I just stick to the one. That's not true. I've watched.
It looks. I can pick out at least 2, but after
There's
that,
only one in that background.
Am I misidentifying the One Piece character? That looks like a One Piece character to me, but who knows?
Where?
The Goku, the one you just showed.
Oh, this one? That's Goku.
Oh, okay. So it's just Goku dressed like.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, it's actually.
So I wasn't entirely wrong.
And it's a
crossover.
And it's an actual official thing.
They did a collaboration in 2008, so this is a limited edition figure.
Yeah,
Some guy was like, "I don't want it, $25."
His loss.
This thing is worth 60 out of the box. So I was like, "Fuck it, take my money."
Hey, I'm Pirate Goku.
Well, technically, it's worth nothing because you're not going to sell it. So.
I'm not. No, actually, no. When my daughter turns 18, buy everything. Buy. Yeah, I'm gonna sell everything when she turns 18 so she can go to college.
Hey, we figured out names.
Oh yeah, no. Apparently, it doesn't show the names whenever there's a title.
There you go.
Oh.
So yeah.
See, look, they go away.
Booty hole bagels.
Booty hole bagels. I miss booty hole bagels. That's something you miss, Josh.
Yeah.
So the context is because we were at a convention a few weeks ago, and the building was a hotel, and inside the hotel was a bagel shop.
It was called Einstein Bros
Brothers
Bagels, but I never knew the name or found out the name or learned.
He just said booty hole bagels.
Yeah, because it was a bagel, and they would hold it up to their face like that.
Yeah,
like a magnifying glass. I'm like, what is it? Booty hole?
Like a binocular.
Through the booty hole. It's a booty hole. It's a booty hole.
It's a glory hole.
Yeah. So, what? Okay, so you did that. Okay, so you wake up one day. I'm gonna make this video. How long did it take? How long did it take you to write the script? Because there's lots of people that want to do shit like that, and your video was really funny. I really like it. It's really well put together. It's really well thought out. Even if like you did recycle some things, which was perfect, by the way, because it's almost the same shit. That was ingenious.
Yeah.
Like these fucking weaves. Like that was perfect.
Yeah, well, so part of like you'll I don't know if you've seen the sequel videos, but that's kind of I guess one of the few comedy rules that you can kind of identify in more than one thing that I've made. I like the rule of 3 for certain types of jokes. For certain types of jokes, I use the rule of 3, which is to say that sometimes if you punctuate the same point, you can make a funnier joke. So
Yeah.
on its own, any one of those might get a laugh, but I feel like if you can punctuate it 3 times, and only three times, it makes its own sort of meta joke, makes it better. So that's why you see that. You'll see that. I think in this, and at least in the second one, if not the fourth one, that I do that.
You wrote a series.
Yeah.
Of that,
Well, actually, I just noticed that the link you put out there was for Facebook, so that makes sense to me now. That you okay? So he saw it on Facebook. That's why. But no, actually, that was originally on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and so the way videos get distributed on different platforms has not always been kind to us. So actually, the fewest number of people who have seen it, as far as I know, is in fact on YouTube where we first put it up. Actually, the most people who have ever seen it was on TikTok.
See, okay, I was wondering about that because that's the length of a TikTok video, and that's right around the time that TikTok was taking off. Because I remember at one point when they were advertising TikTok on Facebook, it was just a bunch of cosplayers doing lip singing to songs, and people were they were talking shit in the comment section to all the advertisements for it, you know. And that seemed like, and then TikTok just kind of blew up when the pandemic started. And I think when did you post this video? Like around 2018, 2019, 2020, somewhere around that. You're on mute.
I can tell you exactly. Give me 1 second.
No, I got you. Josh, how was your pizza?
Yummy.
I hate you.
We originally published it, the first one in September of 2019.
Okay. Oh, wow. Man, that doesn't seem like that long ago, but it's 3 years ago.
Yeah, it feels like it's longer every time I check. And then we had another 20 people you meet at cons, and then there was actually you guys specifically might appreciate it. I thought it was too much of a niche joke to like share around quite as much, but there was a third one that we made, but it was very, very specific to the COVID era. Let me see if I can grab it for you real quick.
And then that sounds fucking great.
Last year, January 2021, I've made 20 more people you meet at cons. And that one has the beard.
I feel like if I would have met y'all, I would have had my own category, the Jesse. You want to throw hands, bro? And I'm like I'm shoving a Coke machine.
The Chad.
The Chad. I'm not a Chad. Chads fight people. Last time I checked, Voltaire isn't people. Oh, we got to see that. Okay, I'm going to play it. All right, let me share my screen. Let me put this at full screen. Share my screen. Throw shade at Josh for eating food on my show.
Fuck
Oh, wait,
you, I
hold
haven't
on.
eaten all day.
I mean, you could have brought some for the rest of the class.
We don't have that technology, sir.
The name of the video is People You Meet at Cons.
Yeah.
I take coronavirus very seriously. There hasn't been.
Wait, which one is this one?
Oh, you found one of the other ones.
The 20 people. Another 20 people.
A good anime.
Oh, you guys haven't seen any of these? Okay.
The only good anime comes from Studio Ghibli.
Excuse me, did someone here ask for an anime recommendation?
The original JoJo's Bizarre Adventure OVA is the superior version.
Look, Robotech was one time, damn it! No, we already apologized for Carl Masek several times.
She is my emotional support animal. This costume is my license to be a douchebag. Milady. Milady. Oh, whoa, Santa. Hold hands, that's lewd.
What do you mean you've never watched Speed Racer? My knowledge of obscure anime trivia makes me an expert. Get that stormtrooper out of here! I'd never be caught dead watching dubs. Subs is how I learned Japanese.
Oh, I just love my ears gushing blood.
Why on earth would you go to panels? I only spent 12 hours in line to get this $50 autograph.
In the OVA, she's over 300, so it's okay. Time to bring out the yaoi paddle. But the softcore, the hardcore side. Fuck me, senpai!
Okay, wait, hold on. I got
Yeah, the sequel was a little bit unhinged.
I have.
I only needed you to watch the third one there.
Okay, where's the third one?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, Anime Cons 2020 was the third one I made.
Okay, so that's the third one. So, okay,
But
hold on. I have questions.
sure. Let's start with
Okay.
the first one you watched.
Okay. No. First off, I'm still laughing at the neck beard and the fucking brony. Because I fucking hate fedoras. Where's the one that I have? What's a Mo fan?
A Moe.
Moe?
Yeah. Like Moe, you know, the diet Lolita.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I actually didn't know what the fuck that was. I feel like you. Maybe I'm just a bad representation of podcasters because I don't know shit about a lot of anime. I literally go to the cons and I'm asking Josh, who the fuck is that? He's like, come on, man,
Really
it's from
is.
that new popular anime everybody's watching. Do I look like everybody to you? You should be happy I speak English. That is literally my response. So I was like, I don't know shit about that anime. It's kind of funny. Oh my god, that was actually pretty fucking great. I like that. Oh, now that I see your YouTube channel, I've subscribed to it. Okay, so I do
Cool.
see that you
I got
have like
something
a
out
lot.
of it.
Yeah, I do see that you have a lot of like TikTok. Wow, so you have a lot of videos, man. You've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, we're finding new ways to kind of adapt content, make content all the time. It's kind of been a little rough the last couple of weeks because Colossal Con Texas was rough for me.
Are you in Texas?
What was that?
Are you in Texas?
No, I'm in Pennsylvania.
I was actually at Colossal in Texas.
Yeah, I remember seeing you.
Awesome.
Damn it! You mean if I would have went to Colossal Con instead of fucking Delta, we could have met in person?
Only if you were there any day that wasn't Saturday.
Yep. I was there.
Saturday day or Saturday night?
That's the ultimate question.
From around 4 a.m. until midnight.
Yeah, because like the way I operate, unless I have a panel, you won't see me at the con until it's like nighttime when all the party goers come out. That's why the drinking the party room person is like
The party comes out
guys
at night.
bought our badge. That's literally me. Because like I've been to so many cons. I've been to like more than 300 anime, like I said, anime, Comic-Con, some
Horror.
sci-fi conventions, horror, some gaming conventions, one gun convention.
Basically, convention in general.
Yeah, just conventions in general. And I really liked the horror sci-fi one because they fed us like full course, like food, like actual, like fed us. Like I felt like I was at grandma's house.
And they took you out to dinner. They made sure you ate, and you were not leaving until you were even.
Oh, because they had staff in what they called the con suite, and they were like their spot at that con was just dedicated to cooking food the entire day for the entire convention. And the entire convention was like maybe 100 or 200 people at most. And that's with staff. It was a very small con. So I loved it. I fucking loved it. But So we didn't go to. I didn't go to Colossal Con this year. I went to Delta H Con because that's usually where we throw our big parties. And you can ask anybody. Like we spent more time at Walmart going through the toy section than I actually did at the dealer's room at the convention. What they got?
And it's really funny though, because like I don't know if I ever said this before, but like most people I've said who've been to Delta would say take away Goku's room parties, and it's like Delta's like not that enjoyable.
I was talking to
Which
one of
says
the
a lot.
staff. So I was talking to one of the staff members, and they're the head of security, and they know all about us, and they know all about the room parties. And so, like, they can't stop us because the hotel is not willing to stop us. Because the hotel is like, he paid 3 G's, you paid 197. Bye. So, yeah, no, that's
Money.
But it's kind of funny. Like, it's kind of, you're from Pennsylvania. I do know we have had a guest on here from Pennsylvania. Her name is Nikki Mouse. She's actually an upcoming cosplay model in Pennsylvania. We've had other cosplayers, guests, other podcasters, other channels. We even had Tom Ruger on the show, and he talked shit about the new Animaniacs.
Yeah, the Animaniacs.
Is that still going?
Yeah, it's still going on. It actually got picked up for 2 seasons, so they're currently working on season 3.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. He was on the show, and he's like, "I'm not watching that shit."
Yeah, and understandably so, because they didn't ask him to be a part of it, and also not just that, they're also making a new Tiny Toons Adventures reboot.
Well, he
and
said the reason why because they didn't ask his kids to come back.
Yeah, that too. Unfortunately, it happens. You know, that's the sad part. Sometimes it's beyond your control. Like, especially with animation, like if you pitch an idea to a show, the show will essentially own that show. So if you want to make a new series and you want to take it to somewhere else, you're like, no, you got to make your own, or you have to like pay a bunch of stuff.
Plus, I think there's some kind of like, I think it's kind of bad whenever everyone thinks that Steven Spielberg created Tiny Toons.
Yeah, he didn't. He just put his name. He just slapped his name on it. Even though he's the executive producer, but he didn't really make it. And yeah, to the YouTube comment, yeah, he also created Tiny Toon Adventures. So it's actually, and Tiny Toon Adventures is coming back. And
oh my God, you have a video called Room Parties. What is that one about?
Oh, it's called Room Parties. That might be one of the repurposed TikToks.
Ooh.
We gotta watch it.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about.
We're gonna show off your channel.
So by way of explanation, so
give context. There you go.
Mostly for reasons of COVID, we finally subscribed into the TikTok phenomenon, and also we kind of liked. So we missed out on the crate because like the way that Vine formatted videos, but then TikTok came along, and we still liked the restrictions. Like having to fit everything into like 6 to 10 seconds really made you kind of think about how to write comedy in a more succinct way. So we dabbled in that for a really long time. And we have good play for some stuff, not so great play for other stuff. And a lot of original jokes kind of flew under the radar. So what we started doing recently, as YouTube Shorts has kind of been out and coming, is we've been taking a lot of those videos we were making and making 1 or 2 original ones just for YouTube Shorts, and seeing if the algorithms are working differently depending on which platform we use and how we frame the content. And come to find out, there are a lot of our TikToks that have done better on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, I've noticed that YouTube Shorts, because I think YouTube has a really shitty algorithm when it comes to like its videos.
Oh yeah. Well, the video the reason I'm here, the video you're talking about, is still, gosh, I don't know how many views it has as the last count, but it's not that many. But it clocked over 300,000 loops on TikTok in the first couple days. So
yeah,
it opened up my whole world there.
Yeah,
that's good though.
Yeah. I was gonna say that happens a lot. Another example that happened to me. I posted a video on YouTube and only got like 40 views, but when I posted on TikTok, as of like a few hours ago, I checked, there was like 2,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed. And also, someone said there was a YouTuber who said that views and like revenue and algorithm wise, TikTok became a bigger impact than YouTube is right now. Apparently, like YouTube is like kind of declining in a way, but not like noticeably declining. But it's just like you get more content on TikTok. That's why a lot of businesses are going on TikTok.
Yeah, for me personally, it just seems to be, I don't know what the secret formula is, but a regular video did better on TikTok for some reason. And then a couple ones that I made specifically for TikTok, I think including the one you're looking at, I'm pretty sure that one did better on YouTube Shorts. And I don't know what magic button it is that I'm hitting there, but either way, I'm not really making that much money off of the video content as of this moment. But I would certainly like to.
You really don't make people. That's the crazy thing, that people think that if you go on YouTube, you hit a couple thousand subscribers, that you can really like make a lot of money. You have to be monetized, and it takes a lot of work. And you really don't make your money from YouTube. You make it from like YouTube sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hold on.
Oh God, are we about to get a sponsorship moment on the podcast?
Yeah. So thank you to
God
G Fuel for sending me radioactive horse piss to drink on the live channel. Nothing says pick me up like heart failure.
Quite
In
ironic.
fairness, that is just why I drink water out of a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought a, and this podcast is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Remember, when you have nothing to do while you're shitting on the toilet for half an hour and you're sick and tired of fucking TikTok because you see all those videos they make with the shitty laugh track in the background because it's a bunch of people like hiding money from each other. Sick of those videos. Play Raid Shadows Legends. Type in G5E in the code box and get absolutely nothing.
Actually, speaking of that, someone on Twitter made this like, I don't know, I didn't really think about it, but the way they said it was actually pretty funny. Someone said, if Raid Shadow Legends is good, how come there's no porn of it? And I was like, what the fuck?
How do you know? like not you, but them. Like, how do you know? You haven't looked hard enough.
Well, in fairness, we wouldn't know because none of us have played it.
That's true. I don't fucking play. I wouldn't play it.
Which is almost as bad as if there was none.
Honestly, anytime a YouTuber like mention it, I just like skip to like, all right, skip it.
Let me put it like this: not everything needs porn. Someone posted a picture of the fucking hippo from Madagascar. Porn, hentai, whatever you want to fucking call it.
You saw that? You saw that on Facebook too, right?
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. I almost called the cops. By the way, speaking of water, remember, don't hate, hydrate.
There you go. What water, Chan? See, we're drinking water.
Water, Chan.
Water break.
Water break. Remember, for all you nice guys out there, before you lose your shit and get extra thirsty, drink some water. It'll cure your thirst.
I was expecting you to rhyme a bit better. I was expecting like so you won't feel the hurty.
Yeah, you won't.
It's stupid, but it's something.
Don't be a like whenever we see don't be a meanie, wash your weenie. So we promote clean hygiene here.
Yeah.
We tell people all the time, you know what? For all you single guys out there, before you go out there and try to mingle, remember, ladies love clean undies.
Before you try to mingle, make sure you clean your dingle.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Dude,
heard
you're
that.
like, I know that that hygiene is like such a, like, you wouldn't think that so many people have a problem with hygiene, especially grown-ass adults. But I've been to some LARP rooms and some game rooms where it's like walking into a brick wall.
Even some panels too. They're like, it's like all of, like the odor just like hits you in the face like a baseball bat, like a baseball hits you in the face, basically.
I mean, like okay, so how long have you been going to cons? Speaking of cons, how long have you been going to cons? Because based on your videos, it has to have been like a decade, right? We're talking a decade at least.
2006.
Oh,
Whoa, you've been at it longer than I have.
that's amazing.
That's
I'm right on that.
for real.
I'm right on that cusp of
You're
what I would call the transition between third and fourth gen weebs.
yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm 2007. Me and you are really close to con Medicare,
Condicare.
Conicare.
Maybe not
It's
that
great.
bad, but
Well, I've been to there are certain conventions I remember that were huge back in the day, and now they're just
Meh.
Onicon used there's a convention in Houston that's now in Galveston, Texas. It was called Onicon. They used to be at the Georgia Brown Convention Center, which is a huge convention center. It's massive, and now they're just at a shitty Marriott hotel in Galveston Beach.
Right in front of a beach. That's the only
Right,
appeal.
right
That's the
next to
appeal.
the Kroger's. That's like the highlight. The Kroger's. Well, for all of our followers and listeners, if you're wondering if I was going to Onicon this year, I think that pretty much sealed it because they do watch the show. You know who else watches the show? I'm still trying to get them on here, guys. But do you watch My Hero Academia, by the way, Panda?
I have seen parts of My Hero Academia.
Do you know who the gentleman villain is?
Brave gentleman. He's,
Okay, he haven't gotten that far.
Okay, gotcha.
So
No, I don't think so.
yeah, he has a British accent. It's a dude. He doesn't actually have a British accent, but he was like, we met him at Anime Houston. We were both drunk off our asses. And I was like, dude, I love My Hero. He's like, fuck yeah. Like, you should come on our show and be a guest. He's like, what show are y'all? We're Geeks 5 Ever. And he's all like, oh shit, I've heard of y'all. He's like, I fucking love y'all. Y'all talk so much shit and y'all don't even care. I was like, I sobered up real fast. I was like, what? Thanks. And then I told everybody, oh shit, we might need to tone down the shit talking. No, but so 2007, have you? So I don't see it like. Have you ever cosplay, or you just go as like the?
I cosplayed back when I was a kid. My first couple cons I was cosplaying, but you know.
What did you cosplay?
What was that?
What did you cosplay?
First couple cosplays. Wouldn't you like to know?
Sir.
I cosplayed as a character named Iri Yuki from a show called Gravitation, which has a whole on fun story behind that.
Let's ask the anime expert, Josh. What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant.
Damn, maybe my tastes are just the oldest in the room.
No, I'm a gamer. I've been a gamer since I was 2. The reason why I fell in love with Dragon Ball was because they showed it in Mexico, and in Mexico it's like so popular that it's actually part of Mexican culture.
Oh no, absolutely. I have never been to a Mexican convention, and I know all about it from my time researching fanzines from the 90s. Big stuff.
Oh, like it got bad to the point where they were showing Super when Super was being broadcasted live. They were showing it in Mexico, and they had like a crowd of like a few thousand people. And Toy was pissed. They were not happy. They're like, hey man, y'all got to stop doing that shit. They messaged the town hall. They messaged the town hall, which is part of the Mexican government there, and they told them like, y'all got to stop doing that. Like, y'all don't have our permission. We don't consent. And the Mexican government's like stepped in and like, okay, we'll give you some money to let us show it. And they said, Toy was like, no, we can't do that. And then the Mexican government threatened Toy, like, look, you take our money, you let us show it, we're gonna pirate the shit out of it, and you get nothing.
That's pretty much what happened.
That's pretty much what happened. And they're like, we'll take your $5. It was much more than that, but I remember seeing advertisements in Mexico, like if Goku wins, everybody gets a free lap dance. This is in a club, by the way, a strip club. Goku wins the Tournament of Power, everybody gets a free lap dance. He lost. He lost.
I know, right? What a
Pissed.
shocking! It was a shocking.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they
I
were
felt
putting.
robbed.
Yeah, they were putting wagers and bets and all that stuff.
Yeah, there were actual wagers and shit, and it's pretty funny how popular it is over there. But like I discovered anime conventions when I was 19. And the only convention I had ever heard of was Comic-Con. And growing up in the area that I did, a lap dance from Goku. I don't want to get a lap dance from Goku. I wanted a lap dance from that one blonde girl. Anyways, nah, I'm joking. So I discovered cons when I was 19. I only knew of San Diego Comic-Con. Like, if you were allowed to be a nerd anywhere, that was the place. Like, I had heard of people dressing up, but I didn't know it was called cosplay. I didn't discover, like, whatever. Toonami was how I discovered anime. Like, if it wasn't on Toonami, I didn't know about it. Like, I discovered Naruto once I hit college. I wasn't sheltered, but the area I grew up in, like, being an anime fan was like, there was a lot of people that I don't want to speak ill of them because some of them are not alive anymore, or some of them are in jail, or whatever the fucking case is. Not a lot, but just a few people. There were like cliques, groups, gangs, all that bullshit. And if you were like an anime fan, or if you played Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever the fuck, people would bully the shit out of you and kick the shit out of you, and it was rough. It was rough growing up. But you know, weebs, nerds, weeaboos, tacos, tortas, whatever you want to call them nowadays, they don't have to go through that shit anymore.
Yeah, it's more socially accepted than it was, like, I don't know, like.
Fuck yeah, dude! I went to Walmart and Target. You know how much anime shit they sell nowadays?
Yeah.
You had to go to like that one shady ass place in the mall that you weren't sure if it was legitimate or bootleg merchandise.
It's like,
if you want,
at that time, you know, like, let's say like the 90s, early 2000s, like the one place everyone would go to for like anime stuff would be like Suncoast or something like that, or like Sam Goody, you know, that. Nowadays you can go to Target and you can just find like a section dedicated to like Gundam model kits, or like SH figure arts of Dragon Ball characters and anime characters. I was like, okay, wow, what was this like 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm. The only way, so we didn't really have LARP in high school. What we did, so I kind of introduced it, but it was kind of like ghetto as shit too. And I'll explain how it was ghetto. So when Star Wars Episode 3 was coming out, they sold these plastic lightsabers that the entire, like, the blade was short because it would entirely retract into the lightsaber, the handle. It wasn't the ones that light up and only partially go into the blade. No, this one would go all the way in. The lightsaber part of the toy was some thick fucking like PVC plastic. So I bought a few of these, and we were like play fighting during lunch, and then the goths got involved, and then the cholos got involved. Next thing you know, we're beating the shit out of each other like piñatas at lunch until somebody says I give up. I was covered in bruises and shit. It was fun, but that was as close to LARPing as we were gonna get in my high school, at least in the hood. It was fun. It was great, but I was a closet nerd growing up. But now, you know, everybody gets like, anime is so fucking cool. Marvel's so cool. DC animated movies are the cool thing, not the live action movies so much. But people want to cosplay. People freely wear anime merchandise. People aren't afraid to admit that they're Pokemon fans anymore. Like, D&D is popular. I remember when D&D was frowned upon. It's so fucking crazy, dude. It's like fucking insane, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, it is kind of surreal. Like 10, 15 years ago, people would, when you say Dungeons and Dragons, like, oh, is that nerdy stuff? And now, like you said, like everybody's doing it. Celebrities are like hosting streams of D&D. They're just having fun about it. It's really, really awesome, you know. And I think stuff like, also because sometimes you see like shows like Stranger Things, you know, they show stuff from the 80s, you know, now it's suddenly got big again because, yeah, and that, like in the YouTube comment set, people would always say, oh, D&D is satanic and all that stuff. And
What about you, Mr. Panda? What was it like growing up? Because you started cons a year before me. I thought you were like maybe late 20s based on your video. Without the facial hair, you looked really young.
It's good to know that my facial regimen works.
But I feel like you're like part of the same wave of nerds that we are from. Like the whole, hey man, do you like Power Rangers? No, bro. What'd you hear?
I have a what's the term that I would look for here? I have the advantage. I would call it. I have an advantage of coming from not America. So my exposure to anime was very, very early. I was born in Germany, where anime is a lot more commonplace. At least it was back when I was there in public broadcasting, because this is kind of a thing that happens in a lot of different industries. You get something, you like it, and then you just kind of keep using it. So while America was busy not getting any anime during the 70s, Europe and South America got a whole bunch of anime that came out during that period. So like one of the earliest shows I was exposed to was something that was made in the 60s. And that was when I was like really, really small. Now, at that point, it kind of locks in and you're like, oh yeah, these are really cool cartoons. Now, I didn't get a whole lot of that when we came back to the States, except, I came back to the States right around the time when the Pokemon craze was ready to just take us to a whole new level.
Oh yeah.
But like my aesthetic tolerance is a lot wider than many other fans that you find now. So, and between that, between going to college a lot earlier than than a lot of people do, by hanging out with people who were much older than me and who were also fans, I got to experience essentially a whole generation earlier's experience of all the good things that came out with anime without quite as many of the bad things. Growing up, liking anime was still kind of the nerd thing, but I was in that part right when I was about to get out of high school. That was the part where it wasn't, you weren't going to get beat up for putting Dragon Ball Z on your notebook, printing out those crappy dot matrix, well, not dot.
Oh yeah,
inkjet prints because you couldn't afford the real thing, so you inkjet print.
So when everybody
used to go Goku and Sailor Moon all over everything.
When everybody used to go to the public library and just print out pictures of like Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon or whatever, and they would put it like on shit. Like the crazy thing is, despite like all the, despite as many bad apples growing up as we had, like that was the only anime that was acceptable, was Dragon Ball Z. Like you could go up. There's a lot of people that don't know shit about anime, but they still oh, is that Dragon Ball Z shit right there? Yeah, it's anime. It's that. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's almost the same thing. I grew up with Dragon Ball Z because in Mexico, like you said, we got anime way before they got it here in the U.S. Like they were already getting ready to fight. They were already going into the Majin Buu. Like they were already fighting Cell. They were already going to beat Cell. They were getting ready to go into Buu when they just got it here with Oshindo. And the fucking crazy thing is, we talked to Chris Sabat, and he said the footage they got for Dragon Ball Z, the orange bricks, the Blu-rays, all of that, the footage actually came from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get it from Japan.
Yeah, they're not going to pay to send you another master. Wherever the master is, that's where you can get it.
Like, look, get it from them. Get it from them. And it's so crazy because they couldn't figure out. Like they were trying to get the license to Dragon Ball, and Toei Animation was like, "No, we're going to give you something else. Start you off small. This one's a little too important." And then they were like, "Well, you gave it to them. Why can't you give it to us?" Like, no, you leave them alone, because we didn't know this, but in Japan, people love Mexican culture. They love like the Mexican people. They love. They have Japanese cholos. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
So when I go to Japan, I'm going with a Mexican passport because I'm not going with a U.S. passport. I want to get treated good. I don't want to get treated like shit.
Get treated like a king.
Yeah, because they will treat you like shit depending on the passport that you go to that country with. Because they actually have a Mexican Day parade in Japan. I was like,
Mind blowing.
what? It is. It's so crazy. But like, I grew up, I don't know, in Spanish, Saint Seiya was called Caballeros de Zodiaco. You had Ranma y Media, which is Ranma and a half. Sailor Moon. You had other animes. We had Fist of the North Star in Spanish. We had Speed Racer in Spanish. There was, I think it was called Robotech.
Robotech, yep. That's a classic.
Yeah, Robotech is an unusual case. That's the big that's the big anime for Generation 2. In my model of study, it is anyway. And it's interesting because Robotech is a conversion of anime to an American property, and Robotech, in an unusual case, is very popular in South America. Not Macross. Robotech is.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that Harmony Gold really wants to hold on to for the rest of its existence.
So growing up with anime in this country, it was kind of surreal because it felt to me like I was taking a step backwards. Like, I've already seen all this. I already know he dies. I already know how this ends. We even had other animes that they never really showed here. Like, it was called Super Campeones in Spanish, but I don't know what it's called.
Or
I think it's
Candy
called
Candy.
Captain Tsubasa.
What?
It's a soccer anime. It's an anime about soccer where Japan wins the World Cup at the end.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's called Captain Tsubasa or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's got a similar rings a bell.
Oh, that one was popular because it was soccer.
Yeah.
Anime was something else. Anime was something else in Mexico, and it had a much bigger impact in Mexico. Like, the anime conventions are something else. They're on a whole different level. And everything there is just amazing.
Yeah, and I could tell you from experience with not only that in Mexico, but also like other Latin America, a lot of Central America countries, like El Salvador. It's big over there too. Like, it's similar to what Goku was experiencing like over there. Like in El Salvador, like anime would be shown like regularly. It wasn't like, oh, it's just a special thing. No, they would just show it like every day as part of the daily schedule. And a lot of people were introduced to new anime because of that, and it still is today. Like, a lot of people I know, when I go to El Salvador, when I have family in El Salvador, they always bring up, it's like, hey, so what was this new episode? Did you see the news episode of Demon Slayer? I'm like, well, you guys are caught up? Like, yeah, over here they show it here, and I was like, oh, okay. Thanks to technology, people are able to catch up, on certain stuff and all that.
I remember one of the vendors talking about, like, you remember how we used to watch anime back in the day with just bootleg VHSs you got at the flea market? When somebody just went over there and they put their own subtitles. I did not know that was a fucking thing.
Yeah.
I found them I actually found them at the flea market. They had an entire box of bootleg Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon. It was Japanese, but with like
Spanish subtitles.
All right. It was all right subtitles. Like, it wasn't like a proper translation, but you got the idea.
Yeah.
Of what was going on.
Were those on
But
tape?
they were all VHS.
Yeah, you should have maybe picked those up. Those are getting hard to find now. Those are probably from the old tape trading network.
No, those were no good. They were no good. I had already looked at them. They were a couple of them. The film was ripped. Some were they were sticky. I refused to touch. I don't want to know what they did with those VHSs, because some of them weren't labeled. All they just had was a girl sticker on the VHS. I wasn't about to touch it. Anyway, so anime has been. So we've talked about, like, everyone knows that I believe that there are two animes that really spiked and kind of changed everything for this country. One of them is definitely Pokemon. Pokemon is what really revolutionized anime in the United States. Pokemon is like one of the, if you had like a Mount Rushmore of anime, Pokemon would definitely be up there for anime in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dragon Ball Z also has a major
Impact.
Impact in there as well, because it is really the one, like, Pokemon really kind of showed us the door, but Dragon Ball Z like kicked that door down, and that's where everyone got. And from there, we got Yu Hakusho, we got Naruto, we got Bleach, we got Gundam Wing, Rurouni Kenshin.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Cardcaptors, Sakura.
Yeah, we watched Shaman King,
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh GX. I remember Cardcaptor Sakura, Sailor Moon,
Yeah.
Ranma, Tenchi Muyo, Outlaw Star, Cowboy Bebop,
And
Ronin Warriors.
even most of us first discovered basically Kirby and Sonic had an anime. You know, they
I
were
forgot all about Kirby. You know, that little pink dude talks about chicken a lot. I don't get it.
oh yo, right?
Oh, yeah.
He just wants to go to KFC and there's free KFC. Boyo
All
Campero.
right, so Mr. Panda, I want you to share, like, so one of the subjects we wanted to talk about, and I know, and I definitely want to get Josh's opinion on this, but you've been to a lot of conventions. Josh is a panelist. He also hosts panels like such as what it was, Who Wants to Be a, it's like the Avatar, The Last Airbender, but combined with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Jeopardy?
Let's see, Avatar. Yeah, it was a IQ Jeopardy, I think. My Hero Academia Trivia.
Yeah, so his are like game show based. Mine are more comedy based. We host Dragon Ball versus My Hero, where it's literally where it's open mic where people go up there and talk shit about the fandom. Dragon Ball sucks because they just sound constipated for 3 hours. You know, or My Hero sucks because every episode Deku has to cry for 5 minutes. So we offer comedy based panels, but there are a lot of people that go to these anime conventions or Comic Cons or any kind of convention that kind of give conventions a bad name. You have a lot of people out there that do a lot of bad, and it gives con goers, cosplayers, like somewhat of a bad reputation. Not everybody thinks that way of the people that go to cons, but you have some incidents at conventions where people are hiding underneath staircases and taking upskirt photos of girls walking up and down the stairs. Or you have the people that are always soliciting to take inappropriate pictures. We know a couple guys. You know, Captain Potassium. We don't say his real name on here.
Yes.
He was hitting on a girl, and he bought her $300 worth of shit at the dealer's room. She was 16, and she was interested in girls, and she kept saying no to his fucking gifts. But he still did it anyway in hopes that she would change her mind. Like, what is your take on? I mean, I want to hear, like, what are some, like, because I can tell just based on your videos, you have been around. You've been around the block when it comes to cons. You've seen these things. You've heard about them at least, or maybe you've kicked someone's ass.
So in a very general way, what we're trying to get in is examples of people who give everything a bad name.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're everywhere, honestly, nowadays. But you hear about it like at the cons because just to there's a con up north that has a con owner. We're not going to say his name.
Mm-hmm.
We call him Voldemort.
Are you talking about the con chair who got in a fist fight?
No, this one got arrested for rape. I'm going to put his first
You have
name.
a private chat. Use it.
I know. We forget all about it.
Yeah,
His name is Ryan. Shit.
Well,
What's his name?
By the way, same one, actually.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
I didn't know that.
I'm assuming that we're talking about the same person. Anyway, that's beside the point.
Just type in the last name just in case.
I'm sure we're talking about the same person.
Okay.
But to start things off the right way, since you guys are from Texas, I'm not going to say anything other than I'm going to quote a friend of mine. It wasn't that long ago. I forget exactly which year it was, but I can. But speaking of what you're talking about, I was like, I'll bet at closing ceremonies they handed the con chair a little note that said, "Don't congratulate the Nazi cosplayer." So sometimes it just comes down to some people don't always make the best choices, whether malicious or not.
So can I just was the con owner of Anime Matsuri?
I wouldn't know. I don't remember.
Okay, because
I
there
didn't
was a
say
not-
anything.
Okay, I will share. I'm going to share a story with you, and this is just for the record. For the people listening, they're not connected. They're not connected. So there was Anime Matsuri is a shitty convention, which I will always throw shade at. I don't give a shit because I actually know the con owners. I used to know them on a personal level. There was an incident with the Nazi thing, and he showed up and took over some panels, which happened to be ours, and we had canceled months in advance. So long story short, I had to do a lot of damage control to clear our name.
Oh, is that you?
Mm-hmm. Because
boy.
we had canceled in February, but Anime Matsuri has a bad habit of not taking down their panels as a way because they advertise their events to draw in a crowd. So they left our panels up, and because it was an empty room with nobody there, a grown ass man, not in Wolfenstein cosplay, not in any kind of like video game that has Nazi Germany in it, actual angry Wiener Schnitzel, fucking Nazi Germany, swastika shit. And they blamed us because the panel was under our name, despite the fact that we had canceled. But I don't really want to get into that. It's a long story. We were all over the news, unfortunately. But what really saved us, was the fact that I had posted in months in advance, we're canceling, we're not going to be there, and I had pinned the post and I left it up there until after the convention was over. That's what really, really saved us. So
I didn't know that there was that programming coincidence there that you guys were one of the people affected. But not just, Nazi cosplayer. A lot of times people just shit post in real life. They shit post in real life, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and a lot of that has to do with not being completely tone deaf to how people are going to take it. There was another one a couple years back where they were doing a cosplay from a manga, but it had an eerie similarity to the Twin Towers. So regardless of whether that was intentional or not, obviously some people didn't sit quite well with that. About the only other thing I know about the Nazi cosplayer specifically is I know that for a fanfic related panel that he showed up to, he was reading a fanfic that I'm actually familiar with. It's called
is it the Anne Frank Goku fan fiction?
Oh, of course it's the Anne Frank Goku fan
Yeah,
fiction.
that was ours.
So, like I said, I'm pretty sure that much like many other things, I don't think that the guy was a Nazi per se, but that's not really going to help you when the whole story is, well, they're going to take your picture and put it on Facebook, dude.
Do you mind if I actually share some tea with you?
Oh, sure. Why not?
So let me actually add to let me go ahead and share with you. So I discovered when I saw, so you can go and look up the article and it gives you all the details.
Mm-hmm.
Not only was it, so I found out months later, it wasn't even my fucking panel. There was another fan fiction panel.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't yours. It was someone else's.
It wasn't actually. So no, during the weekend.
It wasn't his, but it basically, they
blamed us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because our name was all over the news. Like they even showed our like tweets and shit. Like they screenshot all of our messages saying, "Look, nobody in Geeks Fiber would dress like a Nazi. That guy doesn't represent anything that Geeks Fiber stands for. Fuck that." We actually said "fuck that dude," and they like showed the tweet. And honestly, I got even angrier because the guy in the article is not even the Nazi guy that showed up to the panel.
There was
So
another.
there's like
There were
multiple.
3.
Okay, that's
There-
interesting. Well, that I didn't know.
Yeah, so I found out
Jeez.
because the guy in the picture, I ran into him at the Texas Renaissance Festival. He was like crying. He was drunk. And he was crying. I'm so sorry, man. I'm like, what are you talking about? Get off me. I'm so sorry. What happened to you at Anime Matsuri? What do you know? And he explained to me. I'm like, I had to calm down and not beat the shit out of him then and there. But I'm like, look, dude, if you're really telling me the truth, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I forgive you, whatever, but you owe everybody an apology, not me. You don't owe me shit, dude. Like, I'm letting it go. Like, I'm not going to forgive Anime Matsuri because my grandfather passed away in July of that year because I was visiting the same day all of this shit went down. And they never even apologized to me. They were just like, they shrugged it off like, oh, well, I guess we were wrong, whatever. Like, that year was intense. The Matsuri thing, my grandfather passing, and I found out that same year, a few months after my grandfather passed away, that I was going to be a dad.
Yeah, basically,
So it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a year, man. And we joke about it now. Like, we'll joke about it at the panels. Welcome to G5E presents the Super Cosplay Dating Game Show now. When we hosted a panel at Anime Matsuri, we even took a shot at the con. Welcome to our panel. This panel is now sexual harassment free. So the con owners didn't like that. So, but yeah, so apparently, like, if you go look at the picture, it's not even the right guy. It's the wrong guy. That's not even the right cosplay. This guy had actual legit World War II gear. Where did he get it from? I don't know, but I'm guessing it must have been his grandfather's, because the guy was way too young, based on what was described to me. So, I mean, it is what it is.
I have inherited a number of interesting relics from my great grandfather's time in the Great War. So,
I inherited generations of alcoholism, trying to get rid of it. My people were poor. We got robbed of our culture. Anyways, yeah, no. So I thought I'd share with you that it's the situation was so shitty. They even got the wrong Nazi. So how the fuck did you fuck that up?
No, I mean, to be fair, like, if you, regardless, they'll still show an image of that because sometimes that happens when, like, writing an article, they would take an image and, like, you know, it may not be that exact person, but, you know, they could probably show, you know what I mean? It's like they would just show any.
Well, that's how we found out there were 3. The one that did the one that read the fan fiction, the one that got his picture taken for the article, and then the one they caught, arrested, and threw out of the convention.
Hmm.
I'm like, there are 3 of them. 3 of them managed to get past you out the door.
It's insane and asinine, honestly.
I'm like, what
to
the
be perfectly honest with you, most conventions don't look that closely at cosplay outside of very strictly defined rules. Yeah, it's not the Gaylord, for example, where the Gaylord just kind of does what the Gaylord wants to do at any particular time, like no nipples allowed.
Ah, yes, good old San Japan's policy.
Though a funny fact, we had a similar incident at the Gaylord, because I kind of guessed what was going on. I didn't realize who it was, but there were images shared of someone walking around the Gaylord in a Ku Klux Klan outfit during the big political convention that used to happen down there. So as it turns out, once the movie came out, everyone realized that it was Sacha Baron Cohen. I was like, oh, that has to be someone doing some in real life shit posting, and turned out, yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, because I forget what the latest movie he did was, but like he showed up to it was a Republican event, as you might be able to infer,
Was it
in a Ku Klux Klan outfit.
If I want to take a guess, probably the General. I don't remember. There's so many movies he's done. Like,
It might have been.
The only movie I've seen recently that had any interpretation of the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, it was the second Borat movie. That's what it was.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Okay. The last movie I saw that had any members of the KKK was the Django. like a lot of the movies I've seen don't really have like Casper cosplayers as part of the KKK. I call them Casper.
We do not
cosplayers.
slander Casper on
That's true.
streams
I'm sorry,
where
Jasper.
where I am.
Casper didn't do anything.
Yeah, Casper's
I
a
like
great
that
ghost.
old Casper movie.
I like the Casper cartoons. They're great. Casper was cool. Plus, oh, you talking about the Casper movie where what's his face makes a cameo? He's like, "Who are you gonna call?" Someone else. Then leaves with his proton pack.
I think so. Pretty sure.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, I'm
was
pretty
in
sure
it.
he was in that one.
Yeah, he was a brief cameo as an actual Ghostbuster. It was great. Well, the reason why, because we've actually talked about the that other anime convention owner, and he there's an article of him stripping in a panel filled with 13-year-olds. And we've had the Ravens flock on our show. They've talked about him. We've had other cosplay guests come on here and talk about him. And so,
Well, in my particular case, I've never met the man, and I wasn't there, so I don't know anything about that. But I do know a little bit about.
We've never met him either. We didn't know anything about him, but we researched.
Yeah, the
him.
embarrassment of the Nazi cosplayer. I do remember.
Yeah, I lived it. That was interesting. I tell you one thing though, when I woke up that morning, I never thought that would happen until I saw my phone blowing up with like 200 phone calls missed. Literally, like I had missed 200 phone calls because people were trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. So the reason we don't really know that much about him, we try to stay neutral. We try to get both sides of the coin, but there are actual police reports of certain crimes that he's committed. Police reports become public knowledge after, I think once the case is closed, or I forgot what the circumstances are. Unfortunately, though, the charges were dropped, so he was never incriminated of the crime. I don't know all the stories. I've just heard the stories. I've seen pictures, videos. We try not to say his name though, because apparently he likes to sue. He sued one group. I forgot what they were called, but I can see why he sued them. They actually slandered him. They were calling him names and accusing him of shit that actually wasn't, like, there was no evidence to back up.
Defamation of character.
Yeah, it was defamation of character. And like, if you're going to do something like that, you have to have actually links, articles, evidence, something that's public knowledge so you can defend yourself.
Cite your sources.
Mm-hmm. That's why we try to stay neutral. We had one girl completely slander a con, and the con reached out to us. We had to download the podcast and send it to them because they were going to take her to court for slander. So it happens, and it's happened on the show a lot. It's happened on the show maybe once or twice. We had people just go off the rail, like, "Oh, hey, we're going to talk about guys sending you dick pics in the DMs." The next thing you know, she's like, "Fuck this convention. The owner's a piece of shit." This piece of your eyes widen. Yeah, apparently, like, it happens a lot with some of our female guests.
Oh no, I would absolutely believe that. We all have anyone who has worked closely with conventions has probably run into something. Has stories.
Are you speaking from experience?
Has stories. Everyone has stories. Some of them we won't talk about, and some of them we do.
Like the Naruto orgy that happened. Do you guys know which anime convention it was where that happened?
I know about the Hamtaro orgy. I don't know about the Naruto orgy. Do tell.
So there was a Texas convention that had a Naruto orgy.
Like on the schedule? Was it like an official event?
No. It was like a Facebook event that they were inviting a bunch of people to.
That's disappointing. See, at least if it's on the con schedule, we know it was a good time.
It was. You would think. Have you been to speed dating game at an anime convention? Oof.
We ran one once a long time ago.
How did that go?
It went about as fine as. So what happened was, we were at a convention and experienced one, and we're like, we could do this better. And I think we did do it better, but we also discovered that from a logistics standpoint, this event does not make sense. It should not even be done because it becomes way too complicated way too quickly. The amount of resource input that you need to get out a good result is too much for longevity. So if you're at an anime con where there's maybe 200 people and you're only going to see maybe 20 or 30 people show up, then okay. I've seen worse things happen at anime cons. But I certainly, we choose not to further participate in them, and we don't recommend other panelists try them either, because it's just too hard to do in the typical space that you're given as a panelist.
Mm-hmm. Though we've done it, but we try to approach it at a different, like, hey, this is not a panel where you're going to find a date. No, this is a panel where, hey, where's the room party?
Hey, baby.
Well, then you should call it Find the Room Party. Don't call it
Yeah.
speed dating.
We actually did. We called it it was called it wasn't called speed dating. It was called single social gathering.
Okay, well that's better. Okay, so you've already addressed the pet peeve of mine that has come out in the post our attempt universe.
Yeah.
Where people keep running speed datings and then act weird when people show up to do speed dating.
And I just like I didn't want to call it speed dating anymore because people get the wrong idea. They're gonna go and instantly find a partner.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'm like, dude, you got to talk to people, connect, socialize, and if they're feeling it, hey, it's Lion King all over again. But if they're reaching into their purse and that looks like pepper spray, you might want to back off. Because they're not about to season their food. About to season your ass.
Season you in the face.
And it's kind of weird because, like, I don't know if you ever seen this. I don't know if you ever seen or know anybody like this, but we do know somebody, the same guy that bought all the gifts. He has cried in several hotel rooms about a girl that has legitimately 100 times friend zoned him. He cried about her, saying, "Oh, her boyfriend stole her from me." And I got mad. I got mad at him. Like, dude, she's not property. You need to back the fuck off, man. She's not property. Like, you can't just say, "Oh, I claimed her. I claimed her." He should back the fuck up. No, dude. Like, if you have a problem with that guy, go fucking fight him right now. She's not gonna get with you after you get your ass whipped. She wasn't gonna get with you if you somehow won. But if you have legit beef with this guy, just throw it out there, because I don't see the point. If you're actually friends, then you can be friends without, even if you have a romantic interest in the individual. If you're friends, you can still be friends.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to, like, I have friends that are girls that I have no interest in dating. Like not even, I don't have interest in hooking up with them. I don't have interest in dating. I'd look at some of them as one of the homies. So, I mean, but there are some nice guys that don't see that, I was nice to you. I got 5 punches. You owe me the sex. But I don't know if you've ever come across that, because I don't I watch your videos and you should I feel like the nice guy was missing. I felt like the photographer was the nice guy, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you can make that argument. I have a lot of photographer friends. I used to do a lot of cosplay photography myself. But it's one of those things where it's like there's certainly a darker aspect to a lot of the jokes that I make in those videos.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's like a lot of these things, in particular, when we first watched it, I think it was Keyblade Sonic who mentioned that someone said that the weeb should have also said all these fucking weebs.
Yeah, one of the comments also did say that too.
Yeah, but that was actually part of an entirely different dynamic of a joke that I think encapsulates what I think of when I do these impressions, because you'll notice in that video there's both an otaku and a weeb, even though in just about every respect now we kind of use those interchangeably.
In the larger sense,
otaku is to weeb as Japanimation is to anime for a lot of people in their common vernacular. But what was interesting was there was a period of time, and I feel like occasionally this pops back up every now and then, but there was this odd group within the community who were very insistent that otaku was a slur, because in Japan it's used disparagingly. And so there's a panel that I run called This is Otakudom, and the it was kind of meant to be a lecture series, but the version that went to cons was this is Otaku fandom history in the American otaku, and so I basically started out every presentation with a little bit about how this is America. And words can mean different things to different people. So while I can acknowledge that, yes, in Japan, that's kind of a disparaging term, here in America, most people don't think of it that way because we are not weeaboos, which is a disparaging term.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but there's also the reverse, because weeb is kind of, weeb has basically gone through a reclamation period, because weeb was certainly the diminutive form of the bad word for people who liked anime.
Okay, so let's go back to that. Let's go. I want to get your opinion on that, because you brought up the fact that otaku is a disparaging word in Japan.
In Japan, it can be,
right?
Yeah,
yeah, it can. It's actually like kind of like the
it's
way
broader
nerd,
and it's more disparaging. Yeah,
like nerd, like how nerd like 30 years ago, 40 years
exactly.
ago was like an actual.
It's one of the reasons why a
insult.
lot of original translations linked otaku with nerd.
Mm-hmm. Or like
there's a lot of different ways to. It's not like the perfect matchup, but no translation really ever is for like sub communities and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you think like people have the wrong idea of Japan because of anime? Like, when people think of Japan, they think,
I think if their entire understanding of Japan comes from weebs, maybe. Yeah.
Because
there was a fun comic about that a long time ago. I think it was I can't remember the title of it, but there was a section in one of the chapters where this this character goes to Japan and finds out that this isn't a weeaboo paradise. This is actually just a regular old country with slightly different values, and there is no paradise for the guy who wants his waifu. So no, like I haven't even been to Japan, and I could have told you that. No, I don't think that the general public thinks of Japan in those terms any more likely than you think of Germany and you think of basically Bavarian culture. There's a little bit more to it than that.
It depends on what part of
it's
Central
prominent,
America,
but I think that most people generally accept that. Oh yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff in Japan, but I mean, like a lot of people before anime became more popular also had. Gosh, what the heck was that show? There was basically like a sports show where they dubbed over all the characters, and there was like crazy Japanese hijinks, and the two hosts dressed as samurai.
I know. MXC.
Yeah, that's the one.
They dubbed over this. This is an actual game show in Japan called Takashi's Castle, I believe, and they pretty much just dub it over, and they just give them like English names. They just like make up shit on the spot. It was actually pretty funny. It was really entertaining.
Like Iron Chef, basically.
It kind of reminds me of that show I used to watch on Spike TV.
That's basically that's where it's from. Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it was on Spike TV.
I love that shit.
MXC. Guy
Yeah.
douche.
But because like you have weebs. We're just gonna, I guess, otakus, weebs that
academically I call them otaku. And they still are otaku to me.
Well, here
when I am moderating in the party group, like the 21 plus groups, they're all weebs, all of them. Even the ones who are like, oh well, I only play video games and go to Magfest. No,
I only play for video games and I go to Magfest.
Yeah, we know somebody that talks exactly like that.
See?
Exactly how you were talking. That's exactly how they talk. It's well, because the reason why, because so there was a panel where they brought up Japan, and I told them, you do realize that Japan has its own version of the NFL, and the NFL.
Yeah, I think it's covered in like iShield 21, right? Isn't there an anime about that?
There is an anime called iShield 21. It had a lot of potential to be a great anime, but I hate it when you're 100 episodes in and the main character still fucking cries like a bitch. Like, he is becoming like this badass football player. Like, he's a genius and he starts utilizing his potential, but he still cries and complains and like freaks out and gets scared and shits his pants.
Sounds like a generic shonen protagonist.
I thought Goku was the generic shonen protagonist.
Well, Goku doesn't eat. He takes out his angst in other ways, like abandoning his children.
He abandons his children and just fights, throws hands. And he
Right,
does his eat, sleep,
we
and
all
fight.
deal with our internal turmoil in different ways.
You know what it was? Goku went 12 years without somebody giving him a hug. And nobody gives him a fucking hug. So how about you hug your Goku cosplayers, guys? Well, they're a lot of these guys are heartbroken to hear that the Japanese NFL is it's just as popular as the NFL here, and it's 10 times more popular than some of the most popular animes in Japan. Like, people don't realize, but around the world, sports will always be one of the most popular things to watch. Because the most popular sport in the world is football, or soccer as they call it in this country. Like, there are countries that have hosted the World Cup that were in civil wars that have come to a halt, set aside their differences for the World Cup. And that sends a big message. Last time I checked, nobody was putting their arms down for Pokemon. They might actually fight more over that. But it's crazy.
Don't count Pokemon out yet. It might come down to the big
Pokemon.
tournament to end the next Cold War, for all we know.
Right, whatever. Pokemon.
It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter because Pokemon was a thing for the Western allies. Now, if Russians played Pokemon as much as Japan and we did, then it might have been different. You see, like back in the day during the Cold War, when chess was the way that we kind of maneuvered around each other, because everyone played the same game. So don't count Pokemon out yet. It's just a matter of finding one of these new weeby games that everyone wants to play. In fact, actually, if I was gonna put my money on it, I would say it's gonna be Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! It's gonna be the next Cold War board game tiebreaker.
Munchkin.
I would hate it to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Do you guys play Yu-Gi-Oh? Josh, Sonic?
Not as much as I used to.
I do not play Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know what the fuck pendulum summoning is, link summoning, synchro summon. I stopped keeping track.
Fun fact, commentator, America used to be really good at cricket. Before like baseball took off in the early 20th century, we were like big in the international cricket scene.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't watch any of the movie or any of the anime.
You didn't watch the anime?
Are you even a weeb at that point? No.
You didn't watch?
Gatekeep this.
You're like, you can't summon 3 blue eyes in a single turn. Screw the rules. I have money.
Captain Mexico. That's the abridged series. That's
Screw the rules. I have money.
Fuck. I mean, the abridged. It's kind of funny when the abridged series are better dub than the actual main dub. Like Dragon Ball Z
I wouldn't go
actually
that far. I've met Dan Green. He's pretty great.
No, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that the voice actors are bad. I'm saying the story makes no fucking sense.
It's just basically it's like a Cliff Notes in a way.
Yeah, because like in the if you remember Yu-Gi-Oh, when Yugi's fighting this fucking big hulking dude that's got like these 2 gloves with all the stars from beating all the people in the tournament, he has like the floating castle with the ring that's shielding all his monsters.
Tooten Castle.
And Yugi's like, I summon Catapult Turtle and I launch Gaia, the Dragon Champion. And he's like, you're stupid. Your dragon did nothing. I destroyed the ring to your castle. So now it can't float. So now it's going to crush your monsters and you lose all your fucking life points. I was like,
if it wasn't for shows like Yu-Gi-Oh! That presented such silly things for your viewing pleasure, JoJo's would have never gotten as popular as it was.
This is true, but I did not know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was as old as it actually is.
Yeah, it's funny actually. I cracked a joke about that once, and the JoJo fans came for me, of course. But no, it's like I actually do credit Yu-Gi-Oh! With kind of laying the foundation that allowed a show like JoJo's to take off.
Mm-hmm.
You think so? Is JoJo's kind of like the Gundam of non-mech anime, where it has a different protagonist every season?
Not necessarily, but it is a very long running series
Yeah, they're all
that
connected,
focuses
but
on
they
like
yeah.
a linear family thing because none of them are immortal compared to some of their antagonists.
I know Gundam is so fucking complicated because they have
Because it sucks.
it doesn't
There's some
it
good
doesn't all suck.
Yeah, there are some good ones. There are some ones that's like
I like Gundam
No.
Wing.
Gundam Wing is great.
1
I like
second.
Gundam Wing.
We're just gonna do it. Hang on a second. Just give me one.
Okay, but I like Gundam Wing. Do you like?
I like
Wing?
Gundam Wing. G Fighter was good.
G Fighter is good. I did like the recent Gundam Origins story.
I heard Orphan, Blood Orphan,
Iron Blooded Orphans.
Iron
pretty
Blooded
good.
Orphans sucked.
Yeah, I mean, for what I remember, it's because like for me, I guess going in watching it for the first time, I saw it on Toonami. Going in there, I was like, okay, I like Gundam Wing, so maybe it could be like Gundam Wing, and I realized no, it's not. They're all pretty much different.
Yeah, they're like Gundam, like Mobile Suit Gundam was great.
Mm-hmm.
Zeta, Double Zeta,
Unicorn.
the movie Chars, Counter Strike was good.
Chars was good. Yeah. Origins.
Unicorn was good.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people dislike Gundam Double Zero.
Yeah, I know there was one. It was called it was just an OVA. It was called Stargazer or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's. I do like the music from that.
I think most of them are connected except for Gundam Wing, G Fighter, and I forgot like Iron Blooded Orphans. I think.
Yeah.
Because most of them, most of the villains are inspired by what was it, Char? What's his name?
Char. I forgot his last name.
He wore the red suit and the white mask.
Yeah, he was let me look it up. I forget what it was because I know his rival is Ray Amuro Ray.
Ray Amuro.
Ray
Amuro Ray. It was one of the combinations.
Yeah.
But I remember they called it Amuro because I remember learning his name distinctively because I played Dynasty Warriors Gundam, which is a great game.
Yeah. Oh,
it's very fucking rare.
Char Aznable.
Yes. Zex from Gundam Wing was kind of modeled after him.
Gundam Destiny.
Gundam
sucks. Gundam is the most Gundam is best.
That's fucking great.
That's good.
That's fucking great.
I didn't even think that was going to come up, but heck, I grabbed it out of my luggage.
Yeah, you pretty much said fuck it. Yeah, you pretty much just said fuck it. Let's just
You fucking inspired me. I'm gonna get one of those shirts made. But for like
you can just buy it from me. I made it.
What will you make one about Bleach?
I mean, I guess so. That might be a little hard to that might be a little hard to translate in some of these languages actually.
Bleach in Espanol, we just say jabón.
Oh.
Yeah, we just say Clorox.
I actually had to work with someone on a random forum to get the translation for Gundam in Arabic because there really wasn't a word for Gundam because Gundam isn't really in those markets.
Really? That's fucking cool, actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
and we're probably gonna have to do something similar. So, like the commercial version of this shirt that we find, like after we use this shirt a lot for certain events, and so the commercial version of this shirt is probably going to incorporate. I think we finally figured out how to make it like seal the deal for marketing. So we'll probably add Elvish and Klingon. And that will also require a little bit of creative research as well. Yeah, because there isn't really a word for Gundam in Elvish now, is there? But there will be. There will be.
Digimon has its own language. You should find out a way to add that too if you're a Digimon fan. You should have just like a whole just a book. Gundam sucks in different languages.
Yep.
I'd buy it. But we were okay. So is it just Gundam? Did you think that sucks, or did you just like hate mech anime as a whole?
Oh no, mech anime is great.
So
mech anime is Japan's is Japan taking Starship Troopers and making an entire genre.
Starship Troopers.
No, Starship Troopers is the origin of the mecha genre.
When did Starship Troopers come out?
The book.
Yeah, it's the book. I know
during the Vietnam War.
Okay.
No, it's because we were thinking of the movie.
Yeah, I was thinking of the movie.
The movie is a whole different deal.
Yeah, that
I
came
love
out
the
in
movie. I love all the propaganda.
That's the movie that I feel have always felt put Neil Patrick Harris in front of everybody as, oh, this is a guy to watch.
Yeah, that came out in like 1997, so it
It's
feels
a
kind
long
of
time
old.
ago now.
Jeez. What about? But not just Starship, but also like we owe a lot of like mechs becoming. I feel like mechs didn't really become mainstream, super merchandisable, sellable. Like we're gonna keep doing this because everybody loves it until Spider-Man really helped popularized in Japan.
I'm assuming you're talking about Spider-Man. I haven't watched
The
enough.
emissary from hell, Spider-Man.
So yeah, I haven't watched enough of it to know for sure. But one of the reasons why the mech genre kind of didn't take off until much later, like the 80s, basically, was because there was already a competing, well, a precursor genre, and that's the giant robot genre. And to the best of my memory, I think Spider-Man kind of falls into that giant robot genre back then.
So Spider-Man actually influenced the Megazords in Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So because I don't know if a lot of people watching this know, but Power Rangers Super Sentai, which started with Go Ranger, did not have the Megazords until later on in the series, until the 80s. And actually, there was no sixth Ranger until Zoo Ranger, which we know as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So it's crazy how like things became popular because of maybe some kind of like okay, hey, let's throw some shit on the wall and see if it sticks.
Yeah.
Like literally, and we've talked about this before. Super Saiyan was created because Akira Toriyama wanted to save a buck or two on ink. Like literally, he's like, man, I'm wasting too much fucking money on ink.
Tentacles were created
hair.
because of Japanese censorship laws.
Yes, it was because that's why a lot
expediency
of your hentai
is
still censored in the private areas.
Practicality and expediency, the mother of invention.
It's crazy how like a lot of the fucking history is just like, hey man, we're just trying to sell some fucking toys. Or hey, we're just trying to save some money. Like, look, we wanted smut, and this was the only way we can get away with it.
Yeah, so we got some comments. Fun fact: Power Rangers Lost Galaxy used in marine armor from Starship Troopers for the soldiers in the show.
Yes, that is true. That was actually pretty fucking cool. Which there was a theory that they're connected now. But,
yeah. Also, it says here, yep, it was Battle Fever J that debuted the giant robot because of the success of Japanese Spider-Man.
Which, by the way, the rumor is, and it's almost like 70% confirmed at this point, that Spider-Man, the Japanese emissary from hell, will be in the second Into the Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah, like the Across the Spider. It's kind of shame it got delayed a lot. It's getting delayed.
The reason why, because in one of the promotional posters, his wrist morpher, whatever the fuck you call it, whatever it is, it's in the poster. He's wearing it. And they just released his Funko Pop recently. So they're connecting the two.
Yeah, but like the movie itself, so I know it's going to be a two-parter, but then like it's got delayed. It was supposed to come out this year, actually. I think like a month from now, but then it got delayed to next year.
Yeah, because they were making it during COVID. But remember, it's animated movies take almost 4 years to make, so it got heavily delayed. But the voice actor of Spider-Man from the animated series in the 90s here in the US was supposed to come back and voice one of the Spider-Man roles.
Wrist morphers were damn popular in the older Sentai shows.
Except Kamen Rider, they used belts. They used belt and belt buckles. And Power Rangers didn't use morphers. They actually had like this little Superman phone booth kind of thing that would transform them. So it's kind of crazy. Like, as much as I like, people don't realize, but like anime, comics, a lot of things, we kind of all owe it to the older comic books. People argue the very first superhero is Superman. Like we've always had comics, but Superman is kind of like the first of the superhero genre. He's at least one of the oldest. I know a lot of people hate him. I fucking hate Superman. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I fucking don't like Superman. I don't like Superman for the fact that they don't know how to write him. Like he can shit galaxies one comic and then he's like being taken out by a bulldozer.
I know several people who tell me that like they don't like Superman because it's like, you know, some of these heroes, you know, we're supposed to like be related to them. How are we related to essentially a god? And it's like, okay, I can understand why people don't like Superman for that.
I can't even relate to my parents, much less Superman. So tell us, sir. We want to know, what's your favorite anime? What's your favorite comic book? And I'm actually gonna divide the two. What's your favorite anime, comic, manga, and maybe American animation or anime or whatever you want to call it? Because I think.
Oh, how xenophobic! Splitting manga and comics.
I know, right? We actually, to me, like, because I'm Mexican, everything we just have one word for all of it: caricaturas.
Yeah, it's like video games. You could have an Xbox and the parents will still say Nintendo.
Yeah, like for real. Like, what are you playing? ¿Qué estás jugando?
People still do that though.
Yeah,
Yes,
they do.
Mexico.
Like
I know
You
that
say
that was
Coke?
certainly a thing for a while, but do people still do that?
In Mexico, the older,
Oh,
like
okay, fair
parents'
enough.
generation, our parents' generation in Mexico, like if you say Coke, what would you like to drink? Coca. Okay, they'll ask you what flavor.
yeah, naranja.
Like, naranja, Sprite. Tráeme Dr. Pepper. Tráeme un Pepsi.
Un Coca.
Or you say Coke, they're like, Coca? Yeah, sí, Coca. ¿Cuál? Americano?
It is so much easier to just ask for Mexicoke as in America.
Yeah, no,
I
they'll ask you,
say,
though, if you want regular Coke or if you want Mexican Coke.
Yeah, I just say
Even
Mexico.
in Mexico, they ask you if you want Mexican.
Oh, because the community college I went to, they actually had Mexican Coke, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a Mexicoke," and they're like, "Yeah, all right, gotcha, man." And they bring the bottle opener and all that.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I messed with one of my friends. I'm like, "Hey, man, you know what we call food? You know what we call Mexican food in Mexico? No, food." He's like, "Oh, what about Mexican Cokes? No, those are still called Mexican Cokes."
Mexico.
I was chaperoning a class in Germany back in 2016, and the kids some of the kids had a discussion about how they wanted to go check out the McDonald's to see what was different about it. And I was sitting there, and I wanted to tell them, guys, McDonald's are like Chinese restaurants in America. That's American cuisine. That's what they're buying. There are like, if you go to Japan, it's different. But for the most part, if you go to an American brand restaurant in another country, for the most part, it's the same thing.
You know what's crazy? In Mexico, the McDonald's, at one point, they added beans to the burgers.
Really?
On request.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that was corporate approved.
Oh, in Mexico, I don't go fuck. If they're willing to steal Dragon Ball Super from Japan, the government's like, eat shit. It's funny because in Mexico, people don't realize, but a hamburger has ham in it. Our hot dogs are they're wrapped in bacon.
Oh, one of the other Manly Battleships, Rockstar. She's half Puerto Rican, half Mexican. I know all about the bacon wrapped hot dogs.
Oh,
with mayonnaise. Different.
Well, we were at I was in Anime Expo in LA, and like they would always have those hot dog vendors outside, and all of them, I would say like 99% of them had hot dogs wrapped in bacon. And I was like, okay, can I have one without bacon? They would just like cook it fast immediately, and then like you eat it, and then you would feel like a stomach ache like half an hour later. It's like it was undercooked. I'm like,
like, how dare you make me work harder?
And I would speak, and they would think I wasn't, and like they would like they would like insult you in Spanish, and I'm like, yeah, muchas gracias, tengo buen día, and they're like, oh fuck.
So like, it's funny because so have you ever had a Mexican like burger or like just I want to say Latino hamburger or cheeseburger? General.
Not one that was specifically marketed to me that way.
So our burgers are wider; they're not taller.
Ah, like a Fuddruckers.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a place called Goku Burger that makes Mexican burgers.
Hmm,
The Broly is it's the size of the to-go plate.
that sounds fun.
It's fucking.
Oh
huge.
man, now I miss
But,
Fuddruckers. You guys ever been to a Fuddruckers?
Yeah, I
yeah,
was there
we
like
still have them
2
here,
weeks
and
ago.
they're fucking just.
They
Yeah,
used to have one
I-
near where I live. And now the closest one is I think there's still one in Harrisburg. So it's like it's a little bit of a drive away.
No, there's one about 15 minutes away from me. Here in
Mhm.
Houston, because I'm in Houston, Texas. They're like the ones that are here are still here because they're still pretty popular.
Yeah, and
Texans
also,
were all about our meat.
yeah, and also because like a lot of the sports team, they always have Fuddruckers as a sponsor, or they have Fuddruckers in the stadiums and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when the pandemic started and there was a shortage of food, there wasn't a shortage of vegan food, soy food. There was even memes about it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, all you have left to eat is the vegan selection. And then in the meme it says, takes a big sip of the whiskey, inhales, takes a deep breath. Fuck you. I'd rather starve. It was a whole
No,
fucking meme. That's
yeah.
Texans for you.
There was also a meme about like someone took a photo of like when like everyone's trying to pack up stuff for like a hurricane or something like that. They're preparing, and like in the water bottle set, like all the packs of water, there's like people are dead as saying they'd rather starve or thirst to death than drink Dasani water.
Yeah.
And like all they have is Dasani water.
Yeah, it's true. There was a shitload of Dasani water. Another thing, you've seen the Drax meme, right? Where it's like he talks about how humble he is.
Yeah.
There's a Texan one where he has the belt buckle on the hat and like the little piece of whatever, the hay or whatever is sticking out of his mouth, and it says when Texans haven't bragged about being Texans in 5 minutes, and it just says underneath in big bold letters, I too am incredibly humble. I was like, Jesus, that summarizes my entire state in a meme. And you can tell who's not from Texas that tries to be like Texan. I was walking around in my poncho sombrero at the Renaissance Festival. Mind you, it's like 80% white. Like this, are we talking about Vikings? People are like, where pirates are. When was the last time you committed a crime? Oh, that's illegal.
Those are always fun.
I'm like, all right, jackass, you're a fucking pirate. All right. Anyway, so I was walking around blasting Selena, and this white dude screams out at me, "You're playing the wrong kind of music." And you're in Texas when the white Texans get involved. You leave Selena alone. She's from Corpus. She's a Texan. Get the fuck out of here, you dirty ass fucking Yankee.
And there's
Yankees, like a whole bunch of like.
There's two people that we do not take kindly to people insulting them: Selena and Eddie Guerrero.
Those two people like it's crazy because Texans will defend other Texans, especially if you talk shit about Selena or Eddie Guerrero. They're like they were gifts from God. But yeah, no, I mean, you've been to Texas before. What was your impression of Texas?
My brother was born in Texas, so I've been around town. Yeah,
Which
El Paso.
which city? El Paso?
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's like
Yeah, I had a good
another country.
I had a couple of interactions with fire ants back in the day. So yeah, I have
wow.
interesting memories of Texas. Austin is nice. For the brief period that I've seen it. It's mostly from airport to Kalahari and then from Kalahari back. I did finally get to go to a Whataburger.
Oh shit, what'd you think?
That was all right. It wasn't like the best thing I'd ever had, so I'm sorry, Whataburger fans, but not the best thing I've ever had. But
so I
was
will
good.
say this, and someone's gonna get mad in the comment section. Not every Whataburger in this state is created equally.
Fair. Okay, I can accept that. I'm just saying it was kind of like a Bojangles of burgers.
I was about to say, if you say In and Out, I'm gonna walk outside.
I didn't get to go to the In and Out. I wanted to go to the In and Out to kind of compare the two, but I didn't have time because other things happened.
It tastes like Jack in the Box.
I kind of like Jack in the Box, but they got rid of those tacos, except for like the really cheap tacos that you can buy.
You mean the monster tacos?
Yeah, they got rid of those, at least at the one I was at.
Yeah, they don't have those anymore. My dad for years would always be like, "Man, I remember when you used to have monster tubs. I remember when it came with sour cream, and then someone got sick and died because of sour cream. That's why they got rid of it." I'm like, "Damn, just bring back up. We could just make one at home."
Oh, Mr. Farnocker, I didn't see his comment. He says, "Damn, that's smart. Why the hell does America make burgers to where you need to unhinge your jaw to bite?"
Because of deep dish pizza from Chicago. That's my theory.
I think
We
the
just
way
like to
America
stack them
sees
high.
things, it's the taller the better. You got to stack it high.
Isn't deep dish a Detroit thing?
Maybe it's Detroit. To
Yeah,
be
deep
perfectly
dish.
honest with you,
I think it's.
I don't
yeah.
eat casserole pizza. So
Okay, so but as long as you don't say something like Taco Bell is the best Mexican food you've ever had in your life,
Yeah, don't say
I
that.
think we can forgive the Whataburger comment because, like I said, there are some Whataburgers in the city that fucking suck.
I mean,
Cold.
me saying that Taco Bell is the best Mexican food I've ever had would kind of be like me saying the chop suey from down the street is the best Chinese food I've ever had.
That is a good. That's a good analysis. But I'm just saying because they
It
did a
is
survey.
it fundamentally presumes the wrong context for what is and what isn't Mexican food, or at least it should. Because like chop suey isn't even a Chinese dish, nor neither are egg rolls. Most Mexican pizza, I'm pretty sure, wasn't invented by a guy in a sombrero. If you'll excuse the racial.
What the fuck is a Mexican pizza?
Is that thing at Taco Bell that everyone's fucking talking about?
Yeah.
Like
Thing that
didn't.
nobody eats.
No, they
but
took it.
want it
They
back?
took it. They took
That's
it out of the
always
menu.
sold
They
out.
brought it back. They sold out, and they're planning to bring it back and make it permanent.
Why? It tastes like ass.
All right, someone's in the
Why
comments.
do you
In and
know?
out. In and out is
Why do
great.
you know?
Rarely have I ever gotten a bad burger or an order wrong, but their menu is bare bones and far too popular for what they offer. Yeah,
I'm
I
not saying
agree.
it. Okay, when I say it tastes like Taco Jack in the Box, I'm not saying it's bad. I like Jack in the Box, but there are like if you go to a Whataburger in a small town where you got the sassy black lady, you're gonna get a really good fucking order.
I mean, in total fairness, to upset some people back in my neck of the woods, I liked it better than White Castle. You know,
White Castle's only good if you're high when you really can't taste shit.
I'm not sure
I
it's
didn't know
that
White.
great if I'm
I-
high either.
I didn't know White Castle was a thing until the movie came out.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't know that either. I thought it. I've seen the little burgers, but I never thought it was an actual thing. I thought it was just like a brand of food.
Well,
like-
yeah, White Castle was something that I discovered from popular media and people being like, "Oh, they're the best burgers ever." And Jack in the Box I discovered from futuristic sex robots. So,
Jesus.
media.
Okay, what is the best burger you ever had? Asking the real questions here.
That's tough.
What kind of burger? No.
Has to be made with meat.
I'll let's stick to let's stick to the simplest answer. The best chain burger I've been to, I think, was probably A&W. You don't see them very often. Occasionally, they're paired
Yeah.
with things like Long John Silver's, but I actually really enjoyed the experience going to an A&W.
I think
There
the
At least it
only,
was because you
wine.
can get those big frosted mugs of root beer.
That's
That's
true.
great.
the only
There's
I think
only one that I know of.
is the one on West Road in 45.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that one too. Because there used to be one near Katie Mills Mall, but they shut that one down, and that's ironically the only Long John Silver's around here.
Yeah, like the only A&W and Long John Silver's within at least 15 to 20 miles is connected to each other.
Yeah, which is kind of sad because I like.
It's a very
Long John
common
Silver's.
pairing, yeah.
Yeah, I like Long John Silver's too.
I do like Long John Silver's too. I'm not gonna lie. I actually have like a guilty.
But yeah, we
Pleasure
have
enjoyment.
there is a standalone A&W. It's the only one I've seen in a long time. Probably an hour or so from where I live. I don't go by it very often, but mostly when I'm going down to a different area of Pennsylvania and I'm taking Pennsylvania 61, I go right by it. So
So in the comments, damn, A&W is rare. Last one I saw was in Ohio, and I barely remember it.
it's
That's
kind of like
right.
finding a Shoney's.
It's like a shiny Pokemon.
I like
Yeah.
Shoney's.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Good.
Shoney's is.
I'm gonna bet.
So I'm going to sign off now.
I'm gonna bet most
No.
people don't know Stonies until Rick and Morty like brought it up. 'cause-
Oh well, that's another actually great example that we've been talking about. You know, franchises introduced through media. Yeah, a lot of people had no idea about Shoney's. We used to have a bunch. We used to have several of them. They were in key locations up here in Pennsylvania, and then a bunch of them closed. So there is one Shoney's left in Pennsylvania, but it's south of Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh is basically just East Ohio. So I never go there. You know.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
But I always, when we go to we end up going to the Carolinas for a lot of cons. So whenever I go to South Carolina, I always put it on my itinerary. It's like, well, I don't care how we have to work around this travel plan, but I'm going to the Shoney's every time I go to South Carolina. That's what we're doing.
Rick and Morty also brought back everyone's memories of the Szechuan sauce.
Yeah.
I liked the Szechuan sauce. I don't know why people didn't.
No, it's not that they didn't like it. I think they forgot.
Yeah,
I
they
think everyone
forgot.
about it.
They forgot about it. It's just like they.
I don't think anyone really forgot it per se. They just didn't think it was that remarkable. Now, you want to talk about a sauce that people forgot? The cinnamon apple dipping sauce from McDonald's. That's the one people forgot.
Oh yeah, they did make that
Apple cinnamon
What
dipping
the
sauce.
fuck?
Rick and
You don't
Morty.
believe me? Look it
unlocked
up.
that memory for me.
No, I just don't remember it. I remember it and I don't remember it. I think because I didn't try it. McDonald's. I remember when their fucking dollar menu used to be $1.
Yeah, now it's like $1.19 or $1.20.
It's a fucking $1.50 for a McDouble. I remember I could be poor and still eat. Now I can't. It's one or the other. I can't be poor and eat.
You can still get a spicy potato soft taco for less than $2 at Taco Bell.
If I go to Taco Bell, being as Mexican as I am, my ancestors will turn over in their graves.
You just have to tell your ancestors that it's not a Mexican restaurant. It's a Tex-Mex restaurant.
No, because there's so many. Like, have you ever? So the biggest question we have for you, sir, while you were here, well, you were only here in Texas. You were in here in Texas for Colossal Con, so you were here briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to eat at one of our mini street taco trucks?
No, I did not. Yeah. So what happened was there have been points because when I'm at Colossal Con Texas so far, we're not running a table. It's basically just me. Yeah, because it's a much longer trip than what we normally do for cons. So I got to the airport. I go to the hotel, and this time I did get out to Whataburger. But any other plans were scrapped because I spent basically all of Saturday in the hospital. So, so I didn't get to experience any other fun food items.
You were in the hospital?
Yeah. We had to cancel a bunch of panels because I was in the hospital for most of Saturday.
What the fuck? I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That sucks.
No, I mean I got out all right. I had to. I was given a very stern conversation with guest relations about it because it's like, no, I still want to do the midnight panel. Please. I just had to go through all that. Let me have my panel. So I got back and did do a panel.
I thought you were gonna say something like when you said stern like lecture. I thought the doctor like gave you a stern lecture about Taco Bell. In Texas.
No. Well, so I actually think a chili dog is what did me in finally for that. That's me personally. It's like I have no idea. Apparently, it was a problem that was bugging me for a long time. But no, we got back and no, I did it. I did the midnight panel.
Did you go into the water at all at Colossal Con?
No. If I had, it would have had to have been before that because once I get out of surgery, I didn't even get to go in the water park at East. That literally just happened this past weekend.
Yeah, because I was gonna say if you have a chance, don't go in the water.
I was a competitive swimmer. You can't scare me. I have gargled more urine.
You're really
than a
gonna
porn
go
star.
in the water with the nasty weebs?
I have gargled more urine.
I mean,
than a
it's
porn
not just
star.
nasty weaves. We have to do with like normal.
If anyone's out there, if you were a competitive swimmer, you know what's in that water.
I was a competitive.
It doesn't scare us anymore. We're invincible, basically. Yeah, I was a competitive swimmer for several years.
Did Whataburger put you in the hospital?
I don't think it was Whataburger. Whataburger was lunch. I think what did me in was it might have been, maybe it was Whataburger, but like It was only after I ate the chili dog during late night that the problem started to crop up after that. So
Yeah, food poisoning is pretty fast to react with the heat with the body.
oh, I should have clarified, I guess. A gallbladder. It was a gallbladder issue.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, we didn't want to pry because some hospital.
No, I went into surgery for food poisoning. Yeah.
It's possible the hot dog was
maybe.
that bad.
I don't know. So it was fun. It was funny, and I get to see my home doctor, my normal doctor, later this year, and he and I are gonna have a conversation because I'm fairly certain that a similar event that undoubtedly I'm sure now was probably my gallbladder happened like a year ago, and I was in the emergency room waiting around for a couple hours before they finally saw me, and they finally got to me, and so they did some tests, but their conclusion was that I had GERDs, which is basically just aggressive acid reflux.
Yeah.
And so now it's like they did when I went to the emergency room in Texas, they drugged me up and then they gave me a CAT scan, I think. It was a CAT scan, I think. And so that was their initial conclusion. Is it's your gallbladder. We're going to confirm it with an ultrasound. And I'm just sitting there like, GERDs, huh? So
it sucks, bro.
on that note, though, so speaking of what I think of Austin and what I think of Texas, the healthcare workers are super fucking nice down there. So I'll give them that. They took real good care of me. Every one of them was nice.
Parts and places of Austin are all right. They're cool. There are other parts of Austin you're like,
not so much.
Why am I being punished? Austin just has like a.
I hear the food is great.
Yeah, the food's all right. It's just that right now, for Texans, Austin is the most expensive city in Texas to live in.
Probably because it has so many cool amenities, right? I thought it was weird because I was at the the first time I went to Clauscon, Texas, I was in the airport and I had enough time to eat, so I ate at the barbecue place in the airport, and it was surprisingly good. So I was like, if the airport food is this good, I wonder what the city's like.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a barbecue place. That's really that's like your first impression of like barbecue in Texas. Like, and the barbecue places here get butthurt when they see the memes of like barbecue up north.
And it's like dry as hell.
Yeah,
it can be. Yeah. I usually go to North Carolina for a couple cons, like Ichiban Con, and there's some decent barbecue places there too. So I was kind of thinking about it in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, so now I've had this. I've got to hold this memory in my head when I go there next, so that I can kind of do some comparisons to the Carolina scene.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So have you gone yet? You haven't gone yet.
Gone to
the place that you were going to compare it to.
Not since having the barbecue. Well,
Okay.
I did no. I was at the con, but I didn't go. That was the one time I didn't actually get to go to the barbecue that weekend. But I will this year if we get booked again.
If you go to Austin again, and we're there, we're going to take you to a food truck.
All right, come out to Clauscon, Texas. Fingers crossed that we're going again.
I'm gonna come with y'all so I can order.
I mean, Lord knows well, we can only hope that the value of booking Manly Battleships has been demonstrated when the host shows up to his panel after surgery.
Dude, I'm such a jackass. I have broken my ribs. I've broken my hand. I have gotten hurt. I have gotten food poisoning. I broke my ribs, and after they told me I broke my ribs, I just walked out of the hospital and said, "Fuck this, I'm gonna sick." I'm like, you don't tell me how to live my life. I went back to our party to continue partying. I'm like, Goku, what happened? Oh, they said I got 2 broken ribs. I don't know. Doctor's a quack.
So we got a comment. I guarantee you went to Dickie's Barbecue, the McDonald's of barbecue, and that's not a slur. It's fine for quick meat, but the famous places are entire leagues better.
Well, it's a really good site then.
Yeah, there's a place like right outside of Austin, not too far out, but right out in the outskirts. It's family owned. They have a meat market built out of the run. It's kind of like Papa's Barbecue, but it's not a chain. There's only one and it's really good. It's actually cheaper, and it's like just as good or better, depending on which one you go.
I'll make you a deal. So if I'm down there in Austin, you can take me there, and if you come up to Pennsylvania, I'll introduce you to our Mexican food truck, which is actually really good.
Yeah, I think we are. I gotta check my emails. I gotta check my schedule because I think I was talking to a convention up there. I forget the fucking name. So what I do, I run the group, but I'm really bad with like keeping track of the actual schedule. So I actually have one of our other friends do that for me. He'll tell me, okay, we got this con in a couple of weeks. We got this con in a couple of weeks. We got this con, and during the con, okay, you got this panel. You got this panel. You got this panel. If he's not there with me, I will fucking miss the panel.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Yeah, I'm fucked because I spend most of my time coming up with the shit that I'm gonna say. Like when we hosted Pokemon, like is Pokemon bad? I literally brought up the fact that Pokemon's just cockfighting for kids. It's literally your pet's killing somebody else's pet. That's why when you win and take half the guy's money, he never speaks to you again. He's like, what the fuck do you want? And when you lose, you suddenly wake up in a hospital with half your wallet gone. It's fucking great. It's fucking great. I love it. Because I do improv, I do stand up, but I've never done stand up. Like I've never done actual stand up comedy because at the bar scene, it's definitely a different vibe than the con scene because it's a mixture of different types of crowds that are just there to get drunk and maybe hear like a few jokes from the stand up. But the nerd scene, at least you know that everybody here knows about fucking Pokemon.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. And then with the bar scene, you're gonna get that one cowboy right like Pokemon. What is that? That Pikachu Dragon Ball Z bullshit?
Is it down over there that stuff where you got a bullfighting in the lips like that?
Yeah, like Boomhauer over here.
Yeah,
That was a pretty good impression.
You got Hank Hill out in the crowd going, "Damn it, that boy ain't right."
Well, that boy ain't right. I don't know
There you
about
go. Yeah,
Pokemon and stuff, but I could tell you that Digimon is actually superior.
So, fun fact: Sonic is an actual up-and-coming voice actor.
Yeah,
I'm impressed so far.
Oh, thank you. My TikTok is most of when I come up with a TikTok idea, 9 times out of 10 it has to be like a comic dub.
Yeah, I can't act worth a shit. But I'm the creative guy.
Mhm.
I'm the planner.
He does a lot of stuff.
Class clown. Yeah, I'm the class clown of our group. I have gotten drunk and gotten into fist fight with dumpsters, and everybody knows that story.
What objects? Yep.
I've gotten into fist fights with porta potties, dumpsters, Coke machines, electrical sockets. Yeah, a lot of those didn't end well.
I feel like it would be an anime. I feel like it would be about a guy who like he sees stuff and he sees objects being alive and he has to fight them.
You haven't lived until you see me get really high and then pretend to be a tree by saying bullshit, by standing there like this, and I'm like, I'm tree. I am tree. I am tree. Just for 30 minutes straight, my friend's like, Goku, what the fuck are you doing?
He's Groot.
I'm hiding from the cops. Goku, trees don't say tree. Well, right. I am Groot. My friend just walked away. He's like, I hope you get arrested. So, yeah. It's fucking great. So I actually want to thank. We did go over our time. We usually end this right before 10, but we did go over because we had it.
Oh, and I didn't even answer your question this whole time.
Yeah, because we were talking about food, dude. Like this. Even though we're called Geeks Forever, we can literally. I had some of my female friends who are like they're cosplay models, and we came on here. This is when we used to do the show pre-recorded. They spent 20 minutes talking about dick. I had to edit that out. Because it was literally about because it started off with guys sending them pictures, dick pics in their DMs, and then it suddenly became like an entire conversation about. You know what it's like to sit
I
there.
didn't realize it was that kind of show, madam.
And it's like y'all gonna talk about dick, and then y'all no, get off my show. Like this ain't Sausage Con. Get out of here.
Sausage Con.
But thank you. I want to say thank you for joining us, man. I really like everyone actually complimented that you are very well spoken. You kind of sound like Edge.
Thank you.
You kind of sound a little bit like Edge from WWE.
You're talking about something I have no idea, no
Shit.
context.
Okay, so
No,
like,
but your voice in general is very
I have
good.
a what's it called? I have an artistic appreciation for the kind of styling that you see in like professional wrestling, but
Mhm.
like my not personal knowledge of what actually is happening extends to like Vince McMahon and his like meme stuff and this one spectacular scene between Hulk Hogan and a character at the time who was called The Wall, and that is my entire knowledge of
what the fuck? There was somebody called The
professional
Wall?
wrestling. Yeah, do you not? Maybe that was way too far back. That's a great
Maybe-
clip to close out on. Look up Hulk versus The Wall.
So just to help you have a better understanding of professional wrestling, Edge is not The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
There you go. It's
That's The Wall.
that's The Wall.
That's The
Yeah,
Wall.
it was from
The Boulder.
WCW.
The Boulder. Oh, I never watched WCW. That's why. I've always been a WWF WWE guy. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, we already started talking about wrestling. We might do it again this past Wednesday because there's still more news coming from the whole CM Punk incident last week. And just to share some context with you,
The
a
fallout from All
bunch
Out.
of wrestlers got into an actual fist fight in backstage at this wrestling promotion called AEW, and one of the older wrestling legend guys bit one of the other wrestlers. And then a couple days later, another wrestler got arrested for biting some stranger.
So a lot of
So-
biting.
There was a lot of biting last week. And then the Queen died. So everybody's now blaming CM Punk for her death.
In some form of fashion. But
So like there was a lot of biting last week. So last week the thing was biting. This week, so with our wrestling news podcast, we just come on here and talk about what the fuck's going on with professional wrestling. Because them physically actually fist fighting, like one guy threw a chair and it knocked out one of the other wrestlers. And then he bit another wrestler while the other two were fighting. And one of the wrestlers just happens to be a former UFC fighter. So like you're a professional wrestler, and this guy was a professional wrestler who did actual MMA and then came back to wrestling. He's gonna kick your ass.
I don't know.
Nah, Punk looks like he's like a gust of wind away from being back in the hospital.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, but thank you for joining us. Always, if you would like to plug in your channel, I did post your link for your Facebook page, but I'm gonna go ahead and share your YouTube page as well now that we have it. Thanks for coming on, man. Hopefully you can join us in the future because we have some really good topics. We're gonna go to one of the we have several conventions still left this year, and I'm kind of like burnt out right now. But
Thankfully,
hopefully
Thankfully, it's in the end of October, so you know.
Yeah, we had like 3 conventions in a row recently, like back to back to back. So it gets frustrating because we also do karaoke. Like we will host karaoke for the cons, and we do that until like 2 or 4 in the morning, and then we have to wake up like at 8 o'clock for our first panel. It's such bullshit. But yeah, no, thank you for joining us. Make sure you follow Manly Battleships at www.youtube.com/Manly Battleships. That's their YouTube channel. We did post their on the description below. You can go ahead and type that into the search bar at YouTube, or you can just check out their Facebook page. Their Facebook page is how I actually found them.
Literally
Also,
any place that's not Twitter.
Yeah, any place you can follow Geeks5Ever on what we got: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, Pornhub. What is it? Tinder. What's the Fighter? OnlyFans, Only Hands,
Tumblr.
It's actually not a terrible idea. Yeah, let's make that a topic for your next episode. Start a new app, Only Hands. Find someone to fight with.
That would be a great topic considering the fact that I've almost gone to a fist fight with some of the. You ever heard of Voltaire?
Voltaire, the musician?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know Voltaire. Yeah.
I almost got into a fucking fist
Yeah.
fight.
Yahoo Messenger.
Yahoo Messenger.
We're on
So
MySpace
Voltaire
too. There
said
you go.
something. He was at Delta HCon. This was years ago. He said something insulting, and I confronted him. And I was we were both drinking, so it was about to end. If it wasn't for his middle-aged obsessed fangirls, Karen ing their way into our business, it would have ended with both of us in the parking lot. It's a true fucking story. I'm not even kidding.
No, I don't disbelieve you for reasons I can't explain.
It's because he's a jackass, dude. Like he wanted to.
I don't provide analyses on other guests. So
Oh, I will. I don't care because I was there as press. I was supposed to review the con.
I met Voltaire at Geek Out, North Carolina, several years ago. Went to his concert. That's all I have to say.
Yes. I will share this though with you. He tried to drink alcohol in the move in Texas. It's illegal, very illegal, to have open alcohol containers in a moving vehicle.
Yeah,
And
same rules in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
so he threw a fit when they told him no. So yeah,
They had like a limo or something for him,
it
or
was a
what?
car. It was a car.
Okay.
It was just somebody from the con going in their own personal car to pick him up at the airport.
I can see how that could be a problem.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to jail for nobody, especially Voltaire. Fuck you, Voltaire. I hope you watch this show. No, don't pay attention, and pay attention to the Mexican that you call dirty. Anyways, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, follow us on Facebook. We might be back Wednesday with another wrestling discussion. Also, keep in mind at the beginning of next month, we will be releasing our fan fiction recordings where we read the shitty fan fiction. I know our audience today was very slow because we're just coming off of a long weekend. Yesterday was a bit of an unofficial holiday, especially in Texas. It's a bit of a big deal. I want to thank everybody for checking us out and also checking out the post show. So I know a lot of y'all actually watch this after it's been live because it's so long.
Yeah. And also remember, tomorrow there will be, for the gamers out there, just for a little recap of the skinny. Tomorrow morning will be the Nintendo Direct at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, and later tomorrow it will be the State of Play from Sony. So it will be at 6 o'clock, I believe 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. So, yes,
Yep.
So
also, make sure you follow Keyblade Sonic's channel as well.
Yes, please follow me. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. All right, guys. Peace. Stay classy. Bye, everyone. Shoo. All right. Bye.
Say bye. Bye-bye.